Once. I think Clint purposely tries to hot mic us. He's going to try to get us canceled. You know, canceled.
Portland doesn't like
I
that.
wouldn't have to try.
We're uncancelable.
Portland doesn't like that.
We're gonna lose all our sponsors.
We're gonna lose all of Portland.
That's
a shame.
oh darn.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, wait. We should actually feel bad. Hey, are we still waiting? No, Anthony, we're not waiting because here we are.
oh, you get
First
to see. Oh,
Yeah, they'll start firing up. They'll start going
All
here.
right,
You'll
commence
see the
this.
good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes, they are, Daniel. But look outside of Astoria.
Dude.
There's some places. To
You know
check
what?
out.
Just outside of Astoria, at the Crest Hotel, they're a third of what the Riverwalk is. Did you know the Riverwalk is $520 for 2 nights? You are not allowed to book a single night at the Riverwalk.
No, you're not. Not in August.
They know what they have.
July, August, September.
Yeah.
They know what they have, and you're welcome, Riverwalk,
Dude.
because, well,
Yeah, Port of Astoria.
let's be honest, or Port of Astoria. Let's be honest. We know why people are there.
Yeah.
What's up, boys?
What's
Going on,
up?
Zach?
PMKNS. I love it.
What's going on? You guys know
How
the
many
drill.
followers do you guys have?
Almost 300K on YouTube, 150 between all the Facebook stuff, and I think another 100 on Insta. I don't know.
crazy.
on
Yeah,
Insta.
that's a heck of a following.
That's really, you guys are something.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Those
reach.
are some ugly mugs, Mike. We're definitely going to admit to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know where you're tuning in from. We are having Buoy 10 rigging discussion tonight.
Oh, yes.
We got a bunch of that stuff sitting right here for us to talk about. We're going to do a little 𝗘𝗟 explanation and a little talk just because it's going to curtail with what we had last week. We had Rod Northup Quint from WFW on last week. Great conversation. If you guys weren't able to check that out, you can go to our YouTube channel, Addicted.Fishing. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. Marlin is actually like, and I'm going to just admit this to you guys right now, like prize packs last couple weeks kind of sucked. Like, that's on me because I forget to get them together from our shop. And then we get in here and we just have to like find something laying around. We're going to have good prize packs for you guys.
Yeah, he's getting some good stuff right now.
He's getting stuff. We got Bill Monroe Jr. in the house. Eric Swanson in the house this week.
Oh, yeah.
Going to have some fun discussion on B10. We were sitting T-minus 10 days.
Getting really close.
It's coming.
I just had all my fluids, thermostats, washdowns, bilges, top to bottom, everything I could change in my boat, I changed.
Change spark plugs?
Yes, I did.
There you go.
Yeah,
Top
boy.
to bottom.
Yeah,
Well, I had
filters?
I had a shop
Fuel
filter.
filter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I paid a professional to do it because I'm no mechanic. But
How about your?
I feel good,
How about
though.
the floor screws in the bottom of your boat?
Mine are glued in, so I don't have to worry about that.
right. They do.
Yeah. And they have, I
How
was a
about
little
your Lulu
nervous.
guys? Do you guys have?
Mine aren't glued in, but they don't come out. So far, so good.
I didn't know if that was a
I was
thing.
going to say,
I've never had.
And
that.
you got a new boat, so you probably don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, mine just
Have you had your 20-hour service
automatically
done
renewed
yet?
it. I just hit 4 hours.
Oh, and you're a good mechanic, so you probably do all that
I
stuff
do on
yourself.
my own. Yeah.
Good deal.
This is pretty cool. I saw someone actually from Oregon City.
yeah, there's people from everywhere. Tell us where you're tuning in from, guys, because you know comments get you entered into our random prize draw.
That's
You guys are on YouTube and you're not on TV. Deselect that chat message. Go give it a thumbs up. Clint, what do we got for viewers right
41.
now?
Oh, viewers?
Viewers right now? We got, just about 230 you guys. We're getting everybody tuned in here. Audio is too loud on voice. Well, turn down your phone, Daniel. Because I don't think we've changed anything on our end. Coming to you live on Lake Merwin. That's badass, Aaron.
Wow, that's cool.
Yes, sir.
Portland Trashville. That's
Tri-Cities.
funny.
What is it?
Portland Trashville.
Portland
Yeah.
Trashville.
No, but it was rated top 50 place to live in the world or some crap.
One
like
of the
that.
best cities in
I was gonna say, like,
the world.
did that author not come to?
Did they
Anyways.
even go through downtown?
Well, no, we don't need to go through that.
Sorry about
They
that.
may have
Yeah.
partaken in some of the activities that go on.
Dustin, we'll talk a little bit about that. That's not generally a practice that we try to utilize too much,
lame,
but
man.
gill checking, there is kind of a little way to do it. It's not recommended, and I think there's a couple ways to do it. But yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about 𝗘𝗟 discussion.
Dustin brings up a good way to at least check your meat, but
PNW, I have no spots for Buoy 10, no spots in September either. But hit me up. I will hook you up with these guys. Do you guys have any spots, Buoy 10?
I have the 8th and 9th just came open yesterday.
Jeez, there you go.
But and those are really good tides too. And I haven't really reached out to anybody. But if you guys want to fish with me on the 8th and 9th, I
There you
just had
go.
those days come open. So those are the only days I have in the month of August.
I don't have any August, but September is looking pretty good. I got 8th through the 14th of September. It's slated to close the 14th, but you know how that's going.
Oh, dude, that week is prime week for upriver. So
We're all going to be upriver chasing them. And that's gonna be
Smashing
fun.
them, hopefully.
that's right. So yeah,
Yes,
good stuff
please.
there, guys. Check it out. Yeah, the fishing's been popping here in the straits and around the canal. Yeah, dude, it sounds like everything in the marine areas has just been absolute fire. In fact, actually, restrictions in marine area 1 and 2 now coming down because they're having to curtail that Chinook catch because I think we've got a big run on our hands and fishing's just too damn easy.
Fishing is too good. That's a good problem to have. So they're making these moves out in the ocean, hopefully to be able to keep us going.
I hate to
the
break it
idea.
to all you guys, marine area guys, because it sounds like this year, you know, I mean, they're paper fish until they go over a dam or until they touch a spawning ground.
Yeah.
And,
Correct.
you know, it might end up being something where we see a lot of these kind of shuts down and restrictions because the fishing is just so good.
Yeah.
But then when they actually get above a dam,
Right.
you know, they actually get shown, and they're not just paper fish; they're counted fish. So once they
Yeah.
do that, then they can actually adjust runs and have run updates and move seasons around. Of course, they'll be out of the marine areas about that time. At least the majority of them will be.
Up in
Yeah.
the river.
But there's definitely potential for a lot of in-season management this year. Hopefully.
Cross our fingers.
Brian K., that's Mr. Bill Monroe Jr.
That's right.
Bill Monroe Outdoors. Having the Thule talk tonight.
The Thule's.
And you know what's so stupid to me? Like, if we're going to, I mean, I didn't want to make this all about Thule's, but we were just going to have like a Thule mention.
I think people like Thule talk.
Right. Clint, can we, you know, we should save the most. So last year I brought in a ton of pictures.
Yeah, you did. I remember that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have that PDF where we actually laid out an herb and a
Yep.
Thule next to each other, and we put out the PSA
Yeah.
for NSIA. Yeah, we did
You
that.
don't have anything from last year, do you, Clint? Like the collection of pictures from last year?
Let me look. I can pull stuff offline.
Maybe we should have the actual like picture discussion next
Yeah.
week. I think that's what we'll do. But just something to remember, guys. What is a Thule?
Thule
Here we
is-
go. First question right
I
out
mean,
there.
yeah,
Yeah. So
right. A Thule is a Canadian-based fall Chinook. It
It's
is
not
a fall
Canadian-based.
segment Chinook. It
it's
is.
not Canadian based.
It's just they
It's for the Canadians.
they live out in Canadian water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're based here though.
They are based for the Columbia River harbors the Thules.
Yeah.
It is the river that they return to, period. And they like little creeks, Nat Creek, Big Creek, Spring Creek. All the Cowlitz has some. You know, come on, this is a big deal. The Thule though is our biggest constraining stock because when you look at how North of Falcon views a Thule, we have this agreement with Canada and. You know, we covet our spring Chinook, and Canada has every power to commercially wipe out our springers, and they agree not to do that if we agree to rear these
so we have
Thules.
millions and millions. We literally put out millions and millions of hatchery Thule, but
Yep.
there also is
There's a wild segment
ESA protected Thules that is what ultimately shuts us down. The reality is that
Right.
if there was only hatchery Thules in, and those hatchery Thules didn't represent the wild Thules, we could kill them all willy-nilly and no one
Right.
would ever care.
Exactly.
But they represent another group of fish that we can't kill until after the 25th, which is a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
In August this year. But
Hatchery
you guys
only until August
upriver,
24th.
you guys upriver, I'm just going to say it, in the middle river, you know, from Cowlitz all the way up. Like,
Bonneville.
you guys
Mhm.
screwed it up last year. There's more tag recoveries
Uh-oh.
in that area. So I think
Yes,
we
there
do
was.
need to have the Thule discussion next week. We'll bring in a bunch of pictures. And we'll
Dude,
have
those
a really
pictures were good last year.
Yeah, we'll
Having
have a
everybody
really
guess
good-
on them and things
Right,
like that.
We'll
that's
have a
actually
good-
a
we'll
good
have a
idea.
good roundup.
You know, look at the difference between a BPH, an
Mhm.
LRH, and an LRW. That's a Bonneville Pool hatchery, or a upriver bright, or a lower river hatchery. We have names for these things. Crazy.
Right, Ariel. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing important here. Go ahead.
I know.
Go ahead and tune out, bud.
Mhm. But no, like
But,
having
right, it's
like
a great discussion.
a
and-
refresher for everybody.
right. No, we should do it. We will do it next week. The Thule talk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be really prevalent because I know how every week we've come in here and we've talked about where's Marlon in our damn giveaways. Marlon. He's probably on the
He's downstairs.
phone.
I think he is.
But I know this. You know, last week we were talking about the cold Columbia.
yeah.
And we were like,
Well-
man, the Columbia's cold. The Columbia's cold. The Columbia's cold. Like, I don't know if Buoy
What a
10, if
change
they're gonna-
now.
Now, because we talked about it here on Addicted Fishing, we have a week of like 100-degree weather coming.
I know. I saw that.
7 days starting Tuesday of
Yeah.
100 plus. It's
So
like-
we're going to see that Columbia at 70 by the end of next
Yeah.
week. I
Yeah.
guarantee. It's already at 67, so 3 degrees is nothing.
the Columbia is going to come up, bottom line. And basically what is a huge part of the Buoy 10 fishery is that when those fish are coming in from that cold ocean, it's 53 degrees out there today.
Upwelling.
Upwelling, cold water, they come in, they get into the river estuary, they hit that wall of warm water and go,
Uh-oh.
we're just going to hang out here for a little bit and just see what transpires.
Keeps the fish in the estuary.
It's called a thermal block. So, Daniel, will the heat mess up the early run? It doesn't mess it up.
It changes the way we...
Yeah, it changes what they do. And so if they absolutely hang more in that estuary and as more come in every day, they build, they wash in there, they kind of slow up. The more that happens, the better the fishing can be because it's like it is literally shooting fish in a barrel. So
It is.
I think all talks of the cold Columbia are now gone.
Totally gone.
Because we know what 1 week of this kind of weather can do. Like last June, it cranked it all the way up to 72, 73, literally overnight.
Yep.
So I think we're going to see some warm Columbia. Good in some respects, bad in others. Maybe we just get a nice warm Columbia, and then September it just starts raining and cools down. That'd be great.
That would be. It'd be good for hunting.
That would be ideal.
We actually don't.
Oh, that
control
would be
the
good
weather.
for hunters.
Yeah, we actually don't control the weather here, so anyways.
As much as we would like to.
Didn't they have the one?
No, I don't remember that one.
There were a bunch of Tulies upriver because they couldn't get back to where they wanted to go. So
Tulies don't go above
Maracas-
Bonneville. So
well, they do. The spring creekers are all above water.
Spring
I think
creekers-
what happens
Man.
is depending on where they're at. So like there's some rivers like in Southwest Washington where they put traps on and racks on, and it bumps hatchery fish out into rivers that are like where some of our true wild Tulies go. And instead of having fisheries restricted on those rivers so they don't egg gag those fisheries,
Right.
they allow you to have a hatchery kill fishery basically to clean up their mess.
Right.
So it's kind of like, so I don't know if that happened in the upriver, but it would not have surprised me that a bunch of hatchery fish strayed out of some of those really heavy populated areas when there's a ton of fish around. They tend to do that. What salmon do just naturally. Salmon stray, steelhead stray, it's what they do. So the certain percentage of them probably do move around a little bit, and they want to mop those up.
Yep.
Bonk 'em.
Fishing warm weather, which you like to eat salmon, you can have fish tacos. Okay. Only good thing about weather is good fishing for warm weather. Oh, warm water weather fish. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Go bass fishing. Kill all those bass. They made last episode. They made smallmouth tacos. I don't know.
Sounds pretty good.
I don't know if I appreciate that. You guys leave my damn smallmouth
Ditch
alone.
pickles.
I did see that they let the 3-pounders go. That was nice.
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet. All I saw was one sitting taco. Like, that fish is dead.
You're like, darn it.
No, Tim, I think we'll be
Okay.
good on the 26th because they've kind of curtailed the Chinook catch purposely to make sure that they can keep the seasons open in some of those marine areas. So I think we'll be good.
Which is where most of us are. We're in our marine
and honestly,
area 1.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it,
Sub-areas.
and I'll be the only guy, and this is probably the only mention on this. The whole live feed tonight is that if they do shut down Marine Area 1, there'll be other places to salmon fish.
It really will be.
We're versatile fishermen.
What's that?
I said we are versatile fishermen. We
We always
We know how to get around.
run
Yes.
around. Clay, how many people we got watching here? I think we got over 300 last I looked.
27.
Almost 350 you guys. Perfect.
Good.
Why don't you guys do me a favor? Let's like and share this out. Get your guys' questions. We're going to be talking about bass rigging. I'd rather be smalley fishing.
Cameron's
anyway.
mine's in the gutter.
Yep. No, I'd rather be smalley fishing. Thank you guys. So, Dean Doppelman, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it too. And then Andrew, thank you for the super chat as well. Marlon goes night fishing in Portland. We kind of like Marlon. We like to keep him around, so it's probably not the best idea.
That sounds dangerous.
It
Yeah.
sounds dangerous.
That's pretty.
Might make a good viral video though, I guess.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
will.
know. But yeah, we're going to be talking about all things rigging. We always go through like kind of the trolling setup. We'll touch a little bit on that. But we got all the stuff you're going to put behind it, whether it be bait, spinners, different rigs, different super baits, spins,
Everything.
all sorts of good stuff. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because a lot of guys tend to ask all those questions and we never get to it.
Especially this year,
Yes.
on when we're going through like bait shortages.
Mhm.
Anchovies are going to be hard to come by. That's a thing right now. But herring, we had an issue with it.
Right.
Now it's kind of back in stock.
It's kind of resolved itself.
Right. So, but this is kind of a way to get around it. I mean, you got spin fish, you got super baits.
And you guys get to see some of Cameron's custom painted blades here.
Ooh.
That's
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, they're
That you're
red
giving
and
out.
yellow and green and pink.
Yeah, imagine that.
That's so pretty.
This is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, because if the green is
News.
not in this quadrant of the spinner, it won't get bit. If the green is anywhere else, it won't get bit. Same
What
with
what
red.
direction do your spinner blades spin?
Yeah.
I want them all to spin
Do yours-
clockwise
do
because if they
these
go
crevices
counterclockwise,
make
they
them go
do not get bit.
counterclockwise,
No.
or
They all should be clockwise because if it goes counterclockwise,
okay?
they
So
don't get
these
bit.
are Portland spinners.
Hey,
So we need
Yeah.
we
why do
need
you think
some
we have
coastal
more
spinners.
fish this year? Like, because we always have excuses in years that we don't. Why? What are we attributing to the
Cold
prospect of
ocean.
a good return?
A cold ocean provides better feed for young smolt. It's one of the reasons.
You know, the blob.
The blob.
Walmart
Remember all the blob
went
discussions we had?
away. Yeah.
It went away.
It went away after a good 3-year showing, and now we're starting to finally see some better returns because the heat blob went away, and
Right.
that's good. That's great.
Are we starting to see any of the extra for the killer whales yet, or no?
That's a
Like,
Washington thing.
Washington has put, I think last time I talked about the number, they were required to put 50 million extra smolts, and I think they've gotten that number to 26. So they're getting there. I mean, as fast as WDFW moves.
Yeah.
I call balls and strikes. So you guys don't have those extra 50 million, and get them in.
Now. Immediately.
Immediately.
Put the
Damn it.
oars.
What are you waiting for? You were supposed to feed those starving orcas that the Wild Fish Lobby has done everything they can to starve the little sons of bitches. I don't want to hear it anymore. Anyways, yeah. So no, the cold water is obviously helping because I mean we were not supposed to get winter steelhead back like we did. We had winter steelhead fishing that was better than we've seen in 10 years. Spring Chinook, obviously. Sockeye, hello. Summer Chinook, hello. Summer steelhead counts at the dam.
It does.
Looking good. I'm not going to say back to 600,000 levels like we were seeing
like
8,
they
9,
used
10
to
years
be.
ago,
Yeah.
but looking improved.
But yes.
We'll just say improved.
Well said.
I mean, granted, it's really hard to improve on those runs
Yeah.
when they think that somewhere between 50 and 70% of them are all dying to avian predation
On the way
between the
down.
dams.
Yep.
So, like, they gotta fix. If they could fix that, we could probably be seeing 500,000 summer steel.
Yeah,
right
if
now.
every
But-
piling road didn't have 100 cormorants on it, we'd probably be okay.
Right.
Well, I just want to
No,
say one
it's
thing.
Chris, because those
Did you see that?
California Chinook
Yeah.
swam up north, and so when we talk about the blob and we talk about the temperatures, we're talking about
Right.
up way up north. Oh, look what Marlin's got.
Oh, Marlon's got.
He's
see,
got a
there's-
box. He's
There's
got
your
his box.
guys' stuff that you all were talking about.
So, dumb question. Why is the fall run much larger than the tastier spring run? And it just has to do with physiology because a lot of the true, spring Chinook runs, I think back in the day before the dams and stuff, they might have been similar. I don't really know, the history on that. But for, right now, it's just the areas that those fish are going to go. Spring Chinook use high runoff and high river areas to get up to them where they go up and sit.
And spring Chinook don't spawn until they'll come in March, but they don't do anything spawning until August or September.
That's crazy.
Whereas the fall Chinook come in
And then basically go right.
and
Yeah,
they
they'll
basically
spawn-
they're on a
they-
mission
right.
and they go spawn in October.
A
Or-
fall Chinook will
yeah.
take a right turn up a creek and go like a mile and spawn.
and
Where
let 'em go.
spring Chinook don't do that. So
They've
it
got
probably has
things
more
to
to
do.
do with habitat
Yeah,
and
sure.
hydropower and stuff, eliminating some access to some of those higher reaches. And so,
Yep.
I mean, I'm not the bio on that, but that's probably, I think, as good of an explanation.
And low
as we can
snowpack years probably affect that. And so
That
they
really is detrimental.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good.
Go
point.
go to our new comments there. We got we got almost 400 you guys watching here. Cormorant season, yeah, it's
We definitely need a
unbelievable.
cormorant season.
Unbelievable.
I don't
No,
know.
we were waiting for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I told him we're gonna have good prize packs.
those are good ones, dude.
Oh, I got a couple.
Oh!
From the draw.
What the hell?
These
Nice.
fillet
I
away
held
fish
to the
mess
side.
Yes.
are awesome.
Dude, they're a game changer. And dude, these things last for.
Dude,
These
we got
things
drop
are
meats.
Yeah.
Are these even still
They
for
are.
sale?
There's
Yep.
a couple of each color.
Oh
left.
wow! So we're gonna do a good prize pack, you guys, and then we're gonna talk rigging. You guys are starting off, and Ammo Cat, thank you for the super chat and the great question.
That's
We
legit.
got
dude.
these guys
Yeah,
in
wow,
here.
those are great.
Buoy 10 fishermen through and through. Bill does a lot of work on the Oregon side for a lot of our fisher representing guys and sport.
Yeah, I think we all owe Bill
So-
a thank you because the guy
Yeah.
spends way more time than I would doing
Way
this.
more time on
Yeah.
the damn phone than anything.
I do a lot of advocating for the opportunity for us to be out there.
And
I
that's
do it for
huge.
free, and I
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
So we're gonna do a really
Yeah.
good prize back here for
Yeah,
the
give
first.
a low.
Dude,
Look at
that's
this custom drop hat, orange blaze. We've got the
awesome. These beads are legit. 16
oh
millimeter
what
soft.
who
It says on the back.
sundown orange clear bead from Oh,
Rush Outfitters.
Dylan Rush Outfitters. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Side cam.
Yeah.
Boom. You guys, the camera is not doing them justice.
Camera sucks.
They got a beautiful blue pearl sheen, just
These
like
are
what us
awesome.
fishermen like. We're going to give a pack away there. And, of course, the nuclear green fillet away fish mat. Great prize pack. Comment, thumbs up at you guys. Share this out. Do us a favor. Let's get a few more people in here. We're talking rigging tonight. I like the comment here. Fishy, fishy. That works.
Fishy.
That works. Tell us where you're tuning in from. I know we saw a bunch of you guys do it. Comment again. You guys know the drill. We'll select the winner in
Hey,
just
real quick.
a moment.
What's your favorite Buoy 10 fish snack?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw
I
someone
wanted
say.
to get back to that.
He's like, let's do the hard hitting
That's
questions
the
here.
most important question I've seen on there. What is the Buoy 10 snack in the boat? Why did we go hunting?
I'm gonna say beef jerky.
Mine is
Or venison
elk,
jerky, yeah.
elk pepperoni.
Because there's nothing that will fill you up quicker than a handful of pieces of beef jerky or elk jerky or something like that.
Nothing like meat snacks to keep
And-
you fishing.
And if you leave them in the boat overnight,
Doesn't matter.
They're
not,
still
they're
good.
not gonna get soggy. You know, like that's my biggest problem. Is
Whereas
like,
my
I'll leave a bag
cookies aren't going to last.
A
I
bag of
mean,
chips, they go soggy by the
Yeah,
next morning,
dude.
especially in Astoria.
Oh yeah, everything
Yeah.
is soggy.
I like smoked fish.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
good one too.
Oh,
though.
speaking of that,
That actually
oh, a
is
bunch of
pretty good.
steelhead. Yeah. Freezer. I was gonna say Tim's jalapeno potato chips.
Yeah, there you go.
Those
Those
are
are
good.
good.
Those are good.
Jalapeno,
When I made, oh yeah, you eat one of those things, you're eating the whole freaking bag.
Yeah, but you better be.
Salt and vinegar.
What's your guys' favorite snack at Buoy 10 or fishing in general? Give us some cool ideas.
Yeah, I
Peanut
think.
butter pretzels. I tell you what,
That's
those
it.
things are freaking
Yeah.
dangerous.
Those are dangerous though. That's too much.
You're
That
talking
could
like the
ruin
ones-
a day because I'll eat too many.
The ones that like come in the screw off tubs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the salt on them.
Oh
Yes.
man, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
That's a problem.
Holy, this is getting people fired up.
Yeah.
Seeds, pickled salmon.
Pickled salmon.
Box cookies.
Oh yeah, goose-a-roni is
Bud
kind
Light.
of another thing. We hunt
Yes.
all fall and winter
Oh yes.
to be able to feed the
Dots,
clients.
dots
Yeah.
pretzels. Can't sleep on the dots. That's true. That's true. You can't
Dude,
sleep
I
on the
found
dots.
sour dots at the candy store out on the coast.
Wow.
Mm.
Huh?
Sour dots.
He's going candy.
Oh, we're
right
talking
now.
dots pretzels.
Yeah, he's going
Oh,
candy.
I'm
Right.
talking
Clint is in the
candy,
right.
dude.
No, that's Nick Popoff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sour
I like
candy.
going fishing with Nick because he's got the most terrible,
Got the worst
disgusting
stuff
candy
ever.
you would ever like. You look at it like 6-year-old probably won't eat it.
Have
He's
you
got
guys-
bags of it, and guess what? It's all good.
Have you guys seen Nick's fish box in his boat? He doesn't even put fish in it. He puts his candy in there.
Full candy.
Oh, you lift it open, dude. There's like 15 different kinds and chips. I saw Evan Laufey rate it pretty good a couple times this year.
Oh, Pop,
So
we
now-
love you,
so
bro.
he better
but
lock, okay,
don't
so now he better lock that.
don't
'cause
be
if I-
surprised if we're on your boat.
I say if
man.
I beat him in the
Yeah.
morning, I'm raiding that.
Yeah, dude, it's like half a 7-Eleven. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Somebody said bananas.
Yeah,
I
so if
just
you all
don't know
bring
about
snacks
that.
for your guides out there at Buoy 10, it puts them in a lot better mood. They try a little harder. You guys all try hard.
If you want
I'll try a
the
little
good
harder.
seat in the boat, just
Yeah.
bring me some
just-
snacks.
We'll put the
snacks.
good spinner,
I
the
mean-
clockwise rotating spinner, not the
Yeah.
counter ones. Yeah, there you go. Coors Light. There you go, Marcus.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Uncrustables are terrible. No.
Oh,
I'm
Uncrustables?
not.
Who said that?
Travis likes those.
I'm not
man.
into the
It's like one of
Uncrustables.
the only things you can eat.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not
Yeah,
allergic.
it is true. Yeah, I'm a fan of the pepperoni sticks too. Yeah.
Coffee is very important. Let's not forget.
Jalapeno Cheetos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just don't lick your fingers.
You don't like get a little extra anchovy scale on your lip.
Ugh.
Little-
Freeze-dried Skittles. That's what I remember Nick every morning
right.
in his bag of ice. Gotta have the Skittles.
freeze. I gotta
Did you
try
see
some.
Isn't that
freaking-
ridiculous?
They're gonna get banned in the U.S. probably. They're
Oh,
gonna have
that
to change
some
the
weird
ingredients.
chemical ingredient. Yeah.
They're getting sued for like
Uh-oh.
an insane amount of money.
Really? What was it, like addictive Skittles or?
It's some chemical that like
Oh wow.
apparently makes you more prone to getting cancer.
Oh, great.
Probably have some
Great. Kids
secret
ain't eating
mix.
Skittles
They're already
anymore.
banned like all over Europe. Like,
Oh,
you can't
really?
have Skittles
Good thing
in
I
a lot
quit
of
eating
countries.
Skittles.
Oh, I just saw that.
Wow.
Wow.
Uncrustables are trash. Toaster strudels where it's at.
Yeah.
Fact.
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
Fact.
Yes.
Pop-Tarts.
I like the individual wrap snacks, and that way you don't ruin the whole box of stuff. Open it right up, you know.
There you go.
Sugar-free.
Just don't store your
Monsters.
snacks in your bait box. I did that once. Didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
Didn't
Turned
work
into
out,
a
dude.
soggy, bloody anchovy mess.
I accidentally left a sturgeon bait in my cooler for 10 days.
Ooh, I've never done that. Yuck.
But was it a Kong cooler?
It was a Yeti, and I had to throw the Yeti away.
See, that is
It
why
was
you
soaked
got
into
to
the
go with
plastic.
Yeah,
right
it
with the
was
Kong
so
coolers.
Yeah.
trust me, I have stunk them out. Like done what?
Like that. Yeah, I can't get
I'm
this
just-
I
out.
literally did it like not too long.
I'm just gonna. I'm not.
I
even
do it
gonna
all the
lie.
time.
I'm not
I
even gonna
went
lie.
to go out to my boat. I'm like, oh my god, I had like Springer bait.
Dude,
Oh,
yeah.
that's awful.
I would go.
When I went to Puerto Rico, I got done Springer fishing and I had
Yes.
2 extra trays of herring that weren't
Weren't
brined
you gone
out.
for 2 weeks?
It was gone for
2 weeks.
8 or 9 days, and I came home and I was like, get in the garage, and
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no.
and my bait cooler caught. I was like, oh, it was
We're screwed.
just, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Washed it and
Ew.
didn't smell.
Took super clean, sprayed it, washed, scrubbed it out, left the lid open like 2
Yeah.
days. You could not tell.
Yeah.
Remember Charles did, when he did that on
It's
his,
crazy.
He, like, did a short little, he filmed it.
You left crap in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Same
dude.
thing, because he had crab in it and he left it in the old shop for like over a year. He said he
Dude.
wasn't
Oh my
afraid of
gosh.
Oh, bananas are always allowed on the boat. Always. You've got to have bananas
Yeah.
on the boat.
I don't
Your
know about
boat?
that.
I know this guy hates freaking bananas.
We don't do
on the boat.
bananas.
I have all. You can have the banana.
You know, if somebody brings a banana and we have a bad day, at least I can blame it on the banana.
Yeah,
Right,
I
now,
got
how
an
many
easy
people-
out.
How many people like love doing this though? And I know it's got to happen.
I know where you're going.
Where they like they purposely sneak one on the boat,
Uh-huh.
and then like a couple hours in, they like
They
pull out the
catch a fish and
banana.
they're like,
and they're like, oh, you don't like bananas? And I was like, no, actually, I don't care. Do you got an extra? Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a rip. They're like, oh, I thought you guys don't like bananas. I'm like, then why the hell did you bring it? Like, you asking that, like,
You
why the
knew.
hell did you bring it if you knew?
To mess
Yeah,
with
because they messed with the guide with it. Good stuff.
that is good.
Clint, pick a winner. Dried mangoes, cashews. Hope we get a bunch of bee runners this year. We're supposed to. I've been doing a ton of smallie fishing. I got my jig on right now. Like, we're gonna do it.
That's where you're going?
That's right. Oh
The-
yeah.
the
But no,
expo?
but with bee run stuff.
Thanks.
Tim Thomas, congratulations. Jack Daniels. That's a good snack. That's a really
Yeah, if you
that's a
don't,
really good snack.
if you don't want to remember where the boat ramp's at.
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember, partake responsibly out there, and if you're driving, maybe don't partake at all. That's my from little PSA. The more you know.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I tried, failed,
Yeah.
sucked miserably at it. Congratulations, you won email orders at addicted.fishing. Tell us you won the DRO beads, the orange hat, and the flayaway fish mat. We'll do another giveaway here in just a moment. I'm going to set these aside.
Fish man.
Congratulations, Tim. Go ahead and
These are pretty good.
email us at orders at addicted.fishing. All right.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, so
Get into it.
let's get into it.
Rigging.
Got
Show you
good
stuff.
gravy, a bottle of Jack for snack.
Bottle of Jack for snack.
The boys don't need snacks. I missed that comment. Woo, says Tim. Perfect. All right. So we're going to just do a very quick run through because we always kind of do it. I know there's close to 400 of you guys now watching. We're going to have Eric brought a rod in and we're going to like run through the rod and just the gear real quick.
Yeah.
But the idea of the night is to talk what's behind the flasher because we don't really do that too much. And
Right.
we always get a ton of questions on it. So Eric brought in
Why don't you
Is-
string that across there real quick?
his rod right here. I got
Yep.
the
That's
side
your
cam to
standard
talk
setup.
about it.
Perfect.
Pro
Standard-
Troll rod, right?
Exactly.
And we all know about above the Pro Troll,
Right.
right?
24 inches.
You can do 24. You can bring, if you
Yeah,
really want
let's-
it to swing fast, you can do
Let's
18.
go side cam here, Clint.
Yeah, talk about that because I don't
Yeah.
think people. I think there's a lot of people that don't understand what you just said right there.
Right.
Oh, above the Pro
No,
Troll?
The fact that you can reduce it,
Yeah,
and it'll
that's right.
make it spin faster.
Yes. So
Well, let's talk about reels, line.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the bottom.
So I think what's really important, guys, is fishing any sort of 360. You want to use a braided line just because it has no stretch, has it's thinner diameter, so it cuts through the water better.
You got orange line here, bro.
Yeah, and that orange line is super visible. It's awesome stuff. So
And see, it's also rounded.
Yeah.
Very rounded, very.
when you're
line.
fishing 360s of any sort, you want to be able to see what your 360 is doing, right? So you want to have no stretch. You want to direct, tie to your line, and so that's what braid does is no stretch, and it tells you what your 360 is doing. So that's
That's right.
why I always run the braid. And then also a line counter reel.
a line counter is
Yeah.
super important.
Very important.
Super.
Because you down in the estuary, I guess anywhere really, you catch a fish at 20 or 30 feet, you want to go back to where you caught that fish at, or you're marking
Or-
fish on your graph.
You see it on your screen,
Exactly.
you adjust accordingly, or if you get one fish and then you put everybody else's rod. at
Exactly.
that
So
depth.
good line
Yeah.
counter reel, a good braid, and then a good soft rod. I use a 10.5 foot Okuma's, and you really want to see what that 360 is doing, and having a longer, softer rod, it's showing you what the 360 is doing. So
If you guys don't think that the rods, like not all 10.5 foot rods are created equal. I mean,
Correct.
or 9
No.
foot, or whatever. Not all salmon trolling rods.
Like
certain rods and certain model rods definitely work the 360 flashers differently and better. 2 quick questions. So experiment with that. This is a 1062 heavy.
Yep.
No,
So
is
is
it
there a
the-
1540 on
it's a-
heavies?
It's the 15 to 30. No, it's not the 15.
Okay, so yeah, so they make an extra 1062 XH and a 1062H.
Yes.
Why? So Corey, we do want to have the line count. I saw another great question. I wanted your guys' input. Why is everything always a right-hand retrieve reel?
Because 99% of the guys that get in my boat automatically want to reel with the right. I get maybe a fraction of my clients want to reel with the left. So I always have 1 or 2 extra that I can just swap out. But 95% of people reel with the right. And I don't know what, because I grew up
even
with
if they're left-handed.
Yes.
They still reel with their right. I get that all the time.
I mean, some even reel manufacturers on a lot of models, like generally they always come out with a right-hand model and then they'll add the left hand.
Remember, Shimano Dakota never had a lefty up until last year.
Right.
That's right.
You know?
They had to reconfigure everything to make a left hand.
It's not because of the power. Like most people are right-handed.
Right.
And it has nothing to really do with like the power. You're generally not in a strength tug of war with the salmon. But you want to have the dexterity of your right hand for cranking the reel, and your left hand as the support. So that is why I kind of understand it. You're right. Some people, I got to have a left-hand reel, and it's like, well, I guarantee you when you get a fish on, you'll forget that you need a left-handed reel.
Exactly.
Well, I carry a couple left.
Half the time, your hand and rod's off anyway. So, I mean, most of the time people end up with the right hand, and they don't even realize it.
And then when they land it, you go, you got it on the right-handed, didn't you?
Yeah.
And they figured it out. No problem.
Yeah, so left-hand retrieve, and I do like left-hand retrieves for like my drift rods and then like my jig rods, like so like some bass fishing applications and stuff. I do like the left.
My spinning reels are left-handed. That's just how we are.
Because you're going to cast with your right, keep it. So
yeah,
you want to screw a guy up, switch the hand.
Yeah.
What's that?
So I always run 65 braid too.
Yep.
Some people run 50, but I do 65 for springers.
That 50 scares me if you get snagged up and you're trolling.
Or it gets
up
a little,
river,
gets a little frayed. Or a fish goes under the boat and it touches your chine.
Touches the boat, a 50 is going to snap, but a 65 might hold.
I'm a 65 guy, but guys like Michael and Blair and these guys, they all really like their 50. It's just a little bit thinner, a little less weight, but 65, especially in the addicted break, it's thin enough to where, like I said, it's easy to get down. It's not going to plane out as readily, if that makes any sense.
That does make sense.
I saw, and so then touching on the line counter just real fast again, guys, you can, like Eric said, you can replicate, you can dial stuff in. If you're seeing fish at like 30 feet and you're trolling and you put the counter at 30 and you're not getting bid, then you put it down at 40, you start getting bit, you can kind of start to understand like your line angle, with how much lead, how fast you're trolling. It's not, there is no like magic formula to that because everyone trolls faster or trolls a different flasher or trolls a different line. Or there's maybe cross currents, like Buoy 10 has a lot of times where there's top current, there's bottom current, so a lot of times, but it slowly gets you dialed in and you can key in on those fish. And then when you do get a bite, you can really key in on the fish with your other rods too. Yeah.
And that's probably like one of the most common asked questions I get is, if you see a fish at 30 feet, what are you out on your line counter? And I just tell everybody all the time,
you can't answer
You just have to know what your gear, you have to know your gear.
Have to know your angles.
Yeah.
If you put a 12, I mean, let's say the water's pretty, let's just say it's slack tide. Screw it. Yep. No current. And you're fishing a 16-ounce lead.
Yeah.
And you're seeing fish at 30 for your speed. Where are you at?
Probably like 38.
You're about 38.
I'm always at an 8. That's right.
I think
you're always at an 8.
I'm always at a plus 8 on a 16.
So what are you going to be at?
I was probably say 35 to 40.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
you're
like
right there.
You're right there, but now add a little current.
Right.
Add a little like
flexing it out. Once my line angle starts to increase, I can't control the speed as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna adjust. I'm gonna go up to like 42, 45 to get to that.
And a lot of the newer fish finders too, you'll mark your bow rods, and so you'll kind of have an idea. Okay, I'm at 25. It's showing at 20. I'm going this speed. My rod's pumping, and it kind of it's a formula in your brain that nobody really thinks about. It just happens, right?
You when you find success, just try to realize like what got me that
what did
bite.
you do?
You know,
what change
How
did
can
you make?
you replicate that?
Yeah.
Go back to divers. Danger, you can go back to divers. And divers have caught a million fish, but I guarantee if you go up and try to troll the bottom at 50 feet on the sand flats on a nice ebb tide where guys are going to be absolutely wrecking ball fish, like you can play with that diver all you want. It ain't going to work. Not as well.
Probably not.
There's time and place for everything.
I would just stress though, to duplicate it, you need all the same stuff. Same reel, same rod, same line.
Clients ask all the time. Clint, I don't know if you guys can hear what Clint was saying. Clint's like, you need to replicate and try to run the same stuff. I'm sure you guys get asked too. Can I bring my own rod and reel? And I always tell them, I go, you can bring it,
I do,
and I will be more than happy to sit down and look at it
and rig it
and
accordingly.
And rig it and look at it. But honestly, we're not going to fish it because first off, if you break my stuff, let me break my stuff. But second off, like I have the right lines, I have the right bumper lengths, I have the right leaders. Like I have everything. You bring your gear.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if guys want to bring their gear, they want you to just like go through it and see if it works.
See if they can.
I'm more than happy to do that, but I'm not fishing it because I don't want something out of sync,
dude.
And the other thing is like, we know like what we can do to our equipment as far as like fighting fish with lead and rod breakage and stuff. Like, so it's real for me. It's like we're not fishing it. You can bring it.
I had a bad instant probably like 4 or 5 years ago where the guy was insistent on him fishing his own gear. So I spent that 15 minutes in the morning to rig his stuff up. And like the first or second springer of the day we hooked in the channel was on his rod. And we about halfway through the fight, his middle of the line breaks. Loses all my gear, loses the fish. But I didn't know what he had. He didn't know what he had, but he was insistent about it and, just lost the fish and lost all my tackle.
Now I go through, I actually make some fishing rods for certain clients.
So, yeah.
And I actually is like, okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to get this reel. You're going to get this line.
Yeah.
And then, okay, if you want to fish it, here's your risks. I'm going to make you this rod, but you can bring it.
Yeah. But it probably matches. It probably matches your stuff.
But it matches my exact setup, and that's what they want. I've got it figured out. I want them to enjoy that too. So.
Hey, this chick named Sharon Lefevre said, "Hi, Marlon, wherever you are." Haha. Hi, Sharon. Hiding. Yeah. So good rundown of the rods.
Yeah.
Now let's go back to side cam here because we got the braid.
Yeah.
Going to, and I see you use these little awesome inventions.
Yeah, those VIP line locks, dude, like, what a game changer. The first couple of years I did this 360 fishing, you know how many spools of braid on my reels that I ruined from twisting up with knots? Like, once I switched over to these, man.
So when rotating flashers hit the market, and, well, they've been here forever, but when they took off and really started changing fisheries, they really put a lot of fray on your line. Yeah. They spin the heck out of your line, and without the lock going into the tip of the bead there, this you should just spin freely. The line, the braid, you should just sit there and spin it. It would just cause this massive twist.
And you could have 15 bead chains on there. It still did it.
It still did it.
Yeah.
You'd be ended up with a bird's nest down in your spool.
And I lost some fish and lost some rigs because of it. And
it actually weakened it right up. Now these are
the absolute killers. So what's so funny about these is that season, like that he came out with these. Yeah. What I was doing is I was taking a bigger bead and I was putting it in my vise and taking a hacksaw and running it. Yeah. And so like we were getting there, but then like Pro came out with these and I was like,
oh, thank God.
That's it.
That's it.
And then he incorporated the swivel in it because mine would just take like pressure and just keep it there. And it definitely worked. But once these came, I was like, oh yeah.
And
there's no other way.
There's some
this is the way.
There's some other manufacturers that make
reference, guys. Come on.
There's other manufacturers that make systems, anti-mainline twist systems, but they have like 6 bead chains and a split ring and like I'm a big proponent of like having minimal gear in the water.
And that's this.
Yeah.
This is simple. And actually, when you look at stuff for like Yakima Bay and their free sighting spreaders, they're starting to put the same slit right there on the top.
See that in there. See how it locks? So since it locks that locks that last chain part in there, when it locks it in there, it just prevents any of the twist going from the flasher up the line. Yep. I don't know. Oh, you guys can see my flip-flops there.
Here's another one too, Cam.
Oh.
Yeah, these do the same thing.
And that's Short Bus is making the same spreaders, and they actually have a slit in the plastic so the bead chain can slide in.
Making everybody sick right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, so see, you got a little.
See the hole right here?
If you guys can see that, maybe against the black. Yeah.
Just pull it away a little bit.
There it is.
Yep. So the same idea. That's going to lock in, and then he's got a spreader here to drop your lead on.
Correct.
And then that goes up.
And that slides
up
with
and down the line.
Yep. Slides with the whole thing.
But the bottom line is, guys, whichever route you go with, you absolutely have to have something. You have to, or else you are going to fish that that braid for 2 or 3 days, and you're going to notice like real quick. And once that braid just twists up to like a critical point, it doesn't matter what braid it is, it will lose its strength and it will start popping.
Pink. Yep.
You'll be like, why did that break off?
I remember the days before I started using those where like every morning I would strip off like 20 feet of line.
I have to rig everything.
I'm like, oh, there's where it stops kinking.
Yep. So let's continue, guys, because I got a question. So wait, how does the 360 attach to the other end of the setup? We're going to show you right now. Yeah. I'll
just undo it real quick because it's kind of small.
So then, guys, so we have a bead chain because, like I said, the bead chain goes side cam. There you go. Bead chain, just a good swivel. Also prevents any of the twist in the bumper because sometimes your bumpers can twist up. But then
we have a bumper.
We've got a heavy monofilament line here, or you can use some of the short bus stiffies. Yeah. It looks like you got about 24 inches here.
I do 24 inches of that heavy mono, and that way I can just, when we get a tangle, I can cut and retie it. And I hate having those, those 200-pound bumpers.
When you tangle with
they get all pigtailed. It's easier for me just to cut and retie and have fresh gear every time. That's why I do it.
And what's funny is like, so for years, like we used those 200-pound bumpers. Oh, yeah. I would make 100 of them at the start of the season, but then
I remember you told me you used to hang them to get them unkinked. You'd put 20 ounces and hang them. Remember that?
Yeah, overnight. And it's like, but even I could never make enough of them. So then I went back to the heavy mono. What is this, like a 50-pound or a 60-pound?
That's 50.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we got a 50-pound, super heavy mono line there. But if you guys are using the bumpers, like they work great. And honestly, like if I just had a stash of like 300 of them to start the season, I'd probably use them too.
If I was not guiding and I wasn't taking unexperienced anglers out, I would use them because I do like that they're strong and they keep everything straightened out. And
now here's a good thing. Marlon actually touched on it. I think we could real quick.
Yep.
24 inches is going to give you that 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. That's about what you want with 24 inches.
Exactly.
Now, you cut this down to 18, you're going to get the 1,000, 2 1,000,
it's going to
3 1,000.
pump
that
faster.
Really agitates the spinner, the spin fish, the super bait, and it actually improves things in certain fisheries.
Different parts of the river, the fish like the bumpers.
The mouth of the cowlets, and you're trolling your Mexican hat 3.5s, you bring your bumper down to about 18 inches, you're going to start catching fish. You'll notice a difference. It's been like that for a while.
There is absolutely a level of adjustment there that I think people overlook because you guys all got trained listening to freaking Marlon go, 24, 24, go fast. And it catches plenty of fish. But there's times where it's like 1832 works, and there's times when 3024 works.
That's right.
And it really has to do with the angler and the guy controlling the boat more than anything else.
Yeah.
Pay attention if you have a rod with a little shorter bumper or a little longer bumper. If it's like doing the dirty work and that guy's driving the boat and that rod just seems like it's not always the damn spinner color.
Right.
Yeah,
it has probably more to do with that damn flasher or the bumper. Do we use triangles at Buoy 10? Where's the triangle go?
I haven't ran a triangle at Buoy 10 since I think 2019.
I still love triangles.
Yeah, and
I'm a herring fisherman.
And so is Popov and Lafke. Like a lot of really good fishermen smack them every year on triangles. But I think I have developed my 360 program.
Things.
Yeah. Well, I've got a program down, and I'm just sticking to it, and I've just been working.
Now let's be fair because we'll do a little shop talk here.
Yeah.
Because it's always fun. Because we all moor out of the same damn arena.
Yeah.
And we all get in there.
Everybody knows
everybody knows who's got them. Yeah. We pretty much always talk to each other too out there on the water. But there's days where like the guys that are the triangle herring fishermen, like they freaking spank.
They smack.
Yeah.
But they don't do it every day. In fact, I know some of the best triangle bait fishermen, and I'm not going to call them out here. There's times where they've been caught running 360s at Buoy 10 after years of talking smack about it.
I've been there, done that.
Big smack about it because like you could only stand watching guys with 360s catch them for so long before you switch.
You got to do it.
I remember guys that used to have. I'm not going to say what he had, but where all he did was talk about whirly bird and I'm a bait fisherman and blah 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 until Nick was down in one of them Southern Oregon fisheries just. Waxing him for years, and then next thing you know, and that's all that guy does now. Yeah. And I'm not calling anybody out because we all evolve and we all change, but I think there is just a time and place for triangles and a time and place for 360s.
Let me tell you what, in 2016, when these things became really popular, I told everybody, I'm like, the current's too fast in Astoria, they won't work, I'm not using them, they'll work.
We all were there.
And now look, now I haven't ran a triangle down there. And this will be my third year.
And now there's times where I think the tides get soft and they bathtub out, and there's times where like I think you only can get them to bite a 360. Even Nick runs them. I mean, it's like there's just times and places for everything.
There
Like,
is.
everything. It's why there's a million different things.
Yeah, but I definitely learned last year.
True that.
A couple of the tongue point days when we were up there early on in the season, absolutely spanking them. I was doing like 5.5 miles an hour downstream
we were
in
smoking
55 feet of water with 360s. And
on the bottom.
my rods were just stretched,
Oh,
and we were
dude.
roping them. That like 5.5 miles an hour, and I always was if it gets over 4.5, I got to find different water.
Yeah.
But I remember too, like a couple years ago on a big incoming, like Lafke and I were at the church out in the open water, coming in at 6 miles an hour.
Catching them.
And
Coming
he was
flooded
ripping them
with
on
it.
triangles. I was
Yeah.
ripping them on 360s. And
Yeah.
but I think we were also just under a big ball of fish that wanted to bite in 6 mile an hour current. I don't know.
So I don't think-
very, very active at
Yeah.
that point in the time.
I mean, they either have to grab it or they don't. So I mean, I think some of the takedowns you get at 6 miles an hour are pretty sweet.
Oh, they are
He's back
insane.
or that you need to clean up the chat.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
I'll be
interesting.
running 360. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you develop a good triangle program, it works for you, great. If you develop a good 360 program, it works for you, great.
Jacob's
However you
got it
wanna
right
catch
there.
fish.
I do that mix too.
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
I kind of got into a little more of the mix last year, and
Yeah.
it seems to like, I get best of both worlds. Sometimes we can be.
My bow rods sometimes go with Pro Trolls though at like 10 on the line counter when you're out in the ocean.
Yeah.
And then your back rods are triangles.
And see, out in the ocean, I've
30.
switched all to 360 out in
And
the
that's
ocean.
that's just how it is.
Because I think the more crap you just get going down there, just the more they're
it gets me.
just go
They're just gonna
biting
go
you. They're just
crazy. I know.
It gets them excited, no doubt about it.
But there's also been a billion fish, and there was even today a billion fish out there caught
Yeah.
on just baiting a weight or diving a weight.
Yeah.
Yep, good triangle.
But you know,
talk.
I think going back, triangle versus 360. I think whatever you're good at, whatever you're comfortable with, fish it. That's my biggest piece of advice.
That's interesting.
Yep, good.
And then you have it set up here too, Eric, by the way. Leader
Yes.
length kind of matters. I'm a short leader guy. You have some
So
longer leaders, I've noticed.
I change my leaders depending on the fishery.
Mm.
So I do longer leaders in Astoria and shorter leaders upriver.
Well, I
And-
want to get this leader length here because it's
Yeah.
got Eric's gear in my hand now.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Well, I think I'm pretty
That's
sure. Yeah. What do you know?
What am I getting into here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty.
But
What is that, 30?
About 30.
28?
A little longer than 30.
yeah.
34, 36.
Yeah.
From the bottom of the hook. Ben, some people talk about from the top of the lure. Some people talk about from the bass part of the hook, the last
Yeah.
part of the hook.
I always do mono. Like
Oh,
whatever
totally.
I don't count hooks. I just knot to knot is kind of my judgment.
Not to knot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little longer, but that's a super bait too. And sometimes,
Mhm.
like you said, you can also shorten it, and you're always adjusting it. There's no.
Are you-
The more and more you fish them, there's no
And
magic.
you have it
formula.
kind of set up kind of right here, but Pro Troll and anchovy is a real thing. And I always like to make that a longer leader, like a 30 to 36, because that anchovy is going to cause a lot of drag
Yes.
right here on the end of that Pro Troll. But you throw a spin fish or a 3.5 on, I'm a 20-inch guy. It goes nice and short, and it really gets that spinner whipping around like crazy, and that agitation is where it's at.
I don't think, you talk about running these short leaders too. It was pretty hilarious last week out in the ocean. We were sitting there watching, we were, getting bites on, I was running 360 in bait.
Yeah.
We'd get the bite on the bait rod and we'd reel up, and the 360 would be coming up. And just to give you guys an idea, the 360 would be coming up like this, and there would be a coho right here
Just chase it.
following it.
That's insane.
Following it. In fact, I actually took a swim bait rod that I had for bass fishing.
course you
I
did.
I saw it do it about 4 or
Yeah.
5 times. And the guy brought it up beside the boat, and I went, grab that rod. I threw that bait right in front of it, twitched it twice, and he just turned right off that flasher and smoked it. Right, 2 feet
That's
off the
really
road.
Dude, that's awesome.
So,
That's
they're
that's
not afraid of these flashers. So when we
No.
run these 20-inch leaders, 18-inch leaders,
They
No.
want to
it's
know.
it's not to be
Yeah.
afraid of it
They
at all.
like them.
They don't.
They're not gear shy.
That
They're not,
fish,
Yeah.
those fish were nosing up, and I saw it multiple times. Nice,
Yeah.
sunny, clear, flat day.
not gear
Those
shy.
fish were literally right there.
Yeah.
Just following the flash, like, what
Yeah.
the hell's going? They were touching it.
Well, that's why
Crazy.
I like the chrome 360s because I think it simulates a salmon in the water, and I think the salmon chase up to it because they think it's a salmon. I mean, that's
They think it's something cool. That's for sure.
yeah.
You ever run and just extra triangles for more flash, like a double triangle setup, and
I've done that a couple times in the spring when the water's high and dirty, and
Yeah.
and when I snag up and lose them, I just cry that much harder. So no. So
That's
Yeah.
a thing, isn't
yeah, that happens.
yeah. All right, guys. Any more questions on rigging? Maybe we need to do another. How many people we got watching here now, Clint? Oh, almost 500 there, bouncing around. A lot of you guys tuning in tonight. Let's get some questions, guys. We're going to go into the rigging stuff. You guys got any questions on the troll setups, flashers? I think, and that's actually what I was getting at right there.
You better tell them to share this time.
Share this time.
There was only 2 people that shared.
Oh, Marlon's checking the share ratio.
Whoa.
So we got to get that share ratio, guys. You got to get it. We know. We're watching. Algorithms and crazy stuff are like, we'll know. We'll know. All you Facebookers better really be sharing.
Look at that.
Holy
There's like
crap.
5 things here. You guys got
Holy smokes.
stuff.
We got line keepers. We've got another drop hat, an Illuma
Dude.
Weld towel. And for those of you guys don't know, like we actually do sell Illuma Weld sweatshirts and apparel in our shop. Mike really needs to work. That's the only place you can get it.
Wow.
Mike really needs to work on the drop down boxes. I was meaning to tell him that today. Please go through the navigation of that.
That's
That's from me. But there's Illuma Weld gear on like the navigation, like the drop downs, like when you're trying to find fishing hats and you're trying to find needs help. So, but it's there, guys. Trust me, it's there. You just got to believe it. It's there. But there's some really cool sweatshirts, some really cool designs. Check out, we got the towel here, the hat, ProCure Addicted, steelhead blend, fish oil, and some line keepers. That's a hell.
How's that guy
Of a
come
giveaway.
back again? That's just crazy.
That's a giveaway.
That's what they do. They'll freaking make like multiple accounts.
Wow.
But I mean, when you have 500 people watching your threads,
I know,
I mean, yeah, we'll get them, guys.
Yeah,
Don't
I
worry
see
about
that.
it.
We'll spam.
How lowly is that person's life?
You know, they're
Poor.
probably sitting over in Nigeria or something. They just got
Yeah.
computer
Yeah, exactly.
screens and, you know,
That was mean of me. I'm sorry.
nobody's cashing their lottery checks.
Right.
So
from the prince. Yeah. Has anyone thought about running their leaders behind the flasher shorter? Corey, you must be behind on delay. Get to live. We just talked a lot about that. What are some considerations when trolling 360s and triangles at the same time? Drag and the lead. Because a lot of times the 360s will, if you're, let's say you're running 10 ounces on everything, the 360s will act different than the triangles. So if you're tangling or you're crossing lines, be aware, move the triangles in your boat, move the 360s in your boat. You should be able to find that mesh, but they will react differently in the water and in the current. So other than that, though, maybe add a little more lead to your 360s to get the...
You know, I think a sure way to do it is just put your 360s on your back rods and just run a little deeper.
Do you guys see Justin's comments right there about running droppers with 360s? I'm a Tillamook guy. You guys probably don't know, but Pro Trolls came and kind of took over a Tillamook fishery and actually became
They took over everything. Let's be real.
ultra effective
Yeah, let's be real.
in
They took over
Tillamook.
everything.
And a lot of us in Tillamook, we fish in 4 foot of water, maybe 6 foot of water. Well, we've figured out that a Pro Troll with like a 20 or a 24-inch bumper is going to dig like 30 inches of swing.
Right.
So we've started using 30-inch droppers on our Tillamook with like 2 to 4 ounces of weight, and that works. And it's changed
Just enough to get it down a little bit, because I mean, keep on there trolling super
It's
shallow.
just getting that dropper to the point where the dropper touches the bottom of the bay, and the Pro Troll's not swinging and hitting the sand over and over. It actually works.
Three great questions here. What's that? Yeah, 2 to 4 ounces for the shallow water trolling. We're not going to talk too much about it. Go up a little bit, because I saw 3 great questions, and we got experts in here to talk about. But hold on that one. We got the droppers. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's the next one. So breakaways. Where's your breakaway?
I ran one for about a day and a half.
Quit running them myself.
I think what happens is the biggest issue I ran into is when I had the breakaways and I did the magnet ones, my clients would throw everything in the water, they would be broken away, and they would send it down, wouldn't pay attention. And when they're broken away, they still thump a little bit, and we would reel up and they'd be broken away. And how long was it not fishing for?
For me, it was another thing.
Yeah.
Another
thing to do to take care of while you're fishing. And quite frankly, I lost just as many fish on breakaways.
Yeah.
And I lost just as many fish without breakaways. I know that they have their place and they do make sense, but for me, I don't need them.
Trying to teach somebody how
But
to.
they come as part of Brad's new evolution. Isn't that like built in now?
Well, yeah, but they can also take them off too.
Oh,
So like
you
you can run them solid. And I mean, here's the thing about breakaways, like, and where I see it the most, like first off, the downrigger fishermen that have been using 360s way longer than us, they don't see the fish loss like we do. So I don't believe it's the flasher. I believe it's the lead. And when you have
the weight
clients and you have people that fight fish properly with some of these hook setups, your landing ratio is 80, 90%. If they're pumping rods and they're dropping tips and they're not reeling through those heavy legs,
they
like
slack.
it's a I see that ratio go way
Carlos, you're on.
down. So it's like I don't think it's the
agree.
flasher, it's the lead, it's the gear, and it's proper fighting of the fish.
Yeah, like, people can't
ride at the boat when you can see them and you feel the weight.
And
but I think that goes back.
And then you see the lead, and then you see that the line isn't pulled straight to the tip. The lead is holding the rod here, and then the line goes off here to the flat, and the fish is just sitting there.
Because the client's fighting the lead.
They're not lifting
like a sheet of plywood.
Right.
They're
not lifting through the lead.
And I tell.
And they come off right there.
I tell everybody.
And then they go like, and then the fish goes like this, like one time goes, and then it's gone. It just kicks the spinner right out of the top. You're like, if you would have pulled on that, I would have netted it. I got a 14-foot freaking handle. I'll get him.
Yeah. I just tell everybody that gets to my boat, I'm like, your guys are not going to break my gear. Be stronger than weaker. And then when they're fighting fish, I'm like, you got to power through it. Just
That's probably safer than that.
Or
Yeah.
just keep
Lift
reeling,
through
right?
that.
Because some people.
My big thing, Clint, right there, boom, Clint hits it. My big thing is reel. Don't stop reeling.
Joseph Cochran said running breakaways helps with younger kids fighting fish, and I'm just going to disagree with you on that.
I don't know about that.
I think tighter drags and longer rods help kids landing fish, because the more that the kids are going to generally have a lot of trouble cranking them, and it gets a little hot moment. Like you get them. It's big gear, but I can get my 7-year-old to land them with her, all the time. I just got to put my hand on the rod and hold it. And she's cranking and just keeping that rod tight.
Keep the rod constantly tight pressure. That is my #1 key to
bending the rod. That's why we use the long rod.
Do you think giving it slack? You ever I just felt like some of the takedowns, you'd have a takedown and then they'd be gone.
Oh, okay. So we can talk about that too. The pickup, especially with the kids, the pickup is probably the most important time, because what happens generally with the 360 flasher, and I swear to you, and I've even thought this even before following those coho in the ocean this year. Yeah. You hook a fish. What does it do, Eric, in the river?
Runs towards your flasher.
Runs right towards the flasher. Where's the flasher going?
Yeah.
Towards the boat, because the guy's reeling at it.
And that's why I started just motor setting like crazy.
Towards the boat.
If it's not ripping line going the other direction, I mean, because oftentimes, just like exactly what you said, you'll see your takedown, and then it'll kind of stop, and I just load that freaking rod up, because they'll drop the hooks.
If the client, a lot of times what happens, you see the rod bite, boom, here's the fish, and you start watching, and usually I'm watching the bite. Clear the rods, guys, pick that rod up. If he picks that rod up and you ever see that rod tip start to come up and start to come straight, then it's on the motor guy to speed it up and help the angler, help the kid keep the bend in the rod. It's not an automatic every single time. I get a bite, I motor set for 55 yards, and then I pick it up. It's not that, because it depends. I mean, they're wild animals. They're different every time. But watch that rod tip, because if all of a sudden that angler's reeling and you just see that tip coming up and up and up and up, give him a little. Give him a little tautness. Give him a little throttle. Get that bend in the rod. Help the angler do that. You will land way more fish.
Absolutely.
I was with a guy and I watched the dude every time he pulled out of the Folby, he lifted it up from the back, and when he was doing that, instead of going up into a lift, was lifting up from the back and pointing at it and giving it slack. Literally lost 18 fish. 18 bites. I mean,
constantly losing fish.
Tension. Tension is your friend.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why then the next time you have the bite, he probably motor set it for 250 yards.
Probably going to stroke out on that one.
Keep your boat in gear too. Yeah. Like with little kids.
Oh, I always
fish. Just kind of keep it in neutral. I mean, I'm not throttled into it. But I'm going to keep a little extra tension.
Ocean fishing. I'm just going to slow
down. We don't slow down the ocean. Screw that.
I'm going to hit the throttle down on my controller a little bit, but I'm going to net the fish on one side of the boat, and the other side's going to just keep on fishing.
I always kind of just feather my throttle in and out of gear, just depending on what the fish is doing. And I think that helps in unexperienced anglers land fishes.
That's a good point.
It's just being on top of it, That's
why you get the big bucks, you
The stressful bucks.
When the fish gets close, keep the rod tip in the water so the fish can't swing
Ted
that way
Tufel,
around.
just reel.
Yeah, Ted, I like
Yeah.
that. I don't
That's
know about
real.
that,
That's
Thomas.
what they'll
I want
do.
that tip.
Reel.
I want that rod when I land a
Stop
fish.
reeling.
I want the client to have it 90 degrees out
Reel.
away from the boat, reel to the weight, and lifting up
Yeah.
straight away from the boat.
Yeah.
Reel.
And
Just
reel.
reel.
And
It's
just
awesome.
reel. I like that.
Real.
I think we lose our voice.
TJ
because of that.
Yeah.
Hester had some T-shirts that just said "real, real, real."
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
That's so funny.
That
is so
Because I
true.
occasionally get some guys, just like you guys do, that they enjoy fighting the fish, and they're just sitting there taking their sweet time reeling in. I'm
Dude,
like,
they
hey,
do the
hey, buddy,
pump.
this isn't the
pump.
time.
I'm like,
Hey.
no.
I understand you're like having a moment, but like, get the fish to the boat.
Turn the handle, Randall. I like that too.
Turn the handle, Randall.
Ted. That's
Joe,
awesome.
that's a great question. We're going to get to that in just a moment. Let's do
Oh.
this giveaway because
Yeah.
we had some other great
Oh, yeah,
questions
yeah.
here. We're going to do this giveaway. We'll have another one tonight. But you guys might have to do some sharing. Marlon's monitoring the situation in our production studio. Yeah, maybe comment if you shared. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe the
comment.
randomizer might pick them.
We'll give it 4 minutes here at 7:50. I'll pick.
On whoever shares.
We got to talk some rigging stuff.
They have to. They have to.
They have to comment.
Comment
They
that
have
they
to comment.
shared.
It's the only way the randomizer pick can grab somebody. What's the giveaway? A whole lot of good stuff.
Nice hat.
A Lumaweld hat.
Good important scent.
Yep, sent.
That's it right there.
attitude.
Not without attitude. I think he thinks that we're gonna like the
Yeah.
randomizer's gonna magically pick him
Like
for
a,
that.
like a pity gift.
Like, yeah.
The randomizer has no pity.
I would
randomizer.
die if it picked it, but there's a lot of comments. We got almost over 500 of you guys watching right now, so there's a lot of you guys tuning in for the good old B10 discussion. Let's talk about some riggings. We're gonna just set this right here. Good spot.
Perfect.
Promise it didn't break.
Yep, we promise to do it. Ready for the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Good.
So now on the business end,
Yeah.
let's take this down. Bill, pick your favorite, I guess.
I have now become.
Oh, okay. We're gonna go right to the spinny.
I mean, if you already know, you know, the spinfish has changed kind of a lot of things. At least for me, I hooked my first triple on springers this year.
I saw that.
You see that?
Yeah.
In the channel.
Yeah.
Of all things,
I do remember that.
on spinfish. On spinfish.
Yeah.
What do you put in there? Somebody asked the question, like, what baits do you put in there?
I actually like to do, just tuna in oil. One of my other good things for buoy 10 is going to be an anchovy or a herring fillet because it actually stays in there. Whereas the tuna actually likes to come out because some of the scent holes on these are actually rather large. That's one of the big things about spinfish is that the scent chambers and the ventilation for the scent chambers are big, which allows chunk-like tuna to actually come out pretty significantly. So I like to use strips of herring or strips of anchovy. That's one of my big ones with these. And the way that they come rigged right out of the package is actually
A lot of people are
on
already
par.
asking about Brads. We'll be talking about that in just a second, guys.
Brads are coming.
Yeah.
I'm just going on. This is the Spinfish 3.0. Is
Yeah, it's a new
my
bait.
forte.
Lots, and I do honestly like them because lots of different sizes. And
Yep.
it's just a different profile.
Yep. This is basically developed off of a spinning fish, but when you actually
let's be honest. It's developed off a tangled quickfish.
This is a. Have you ever really screw up a? You really screw up.
Let's be honest.
quickfish.
It's developed off a Brad's.
It is.
bait.
It is. You've really screwed up a quick fish. You're all tangled,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it comes in, and it's spinning so tight. You're like, man, that looks good.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we should make that a lure, and Buzz
That's
made it a lure.
And Buzz was like, yep.
How we have
we're
this
gonna buy
rig,
that.
guys, is just two. I got two 3/0 single hooks behind it, and
Yep.
one singular bead through that.
That's
They do
the
get
setup I
sold.
do, but I like to use 40-pound. I'm just a 40-pound mono guy. That's on all of my leaders, whether it's mooching rigs, super baits, or spinfish. That's just me.
So what about the left spin versus the right spin?
I
That's
I
my
tell-
bait, too.
yeah.
I found
Because that confuses the hell out of me.
honestly,
Which
seriously,
one, clockwise or
the way
counterclockwise?
these things spin, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
You're not like it has to be like if Venus is in the second quadrant,
Oh, my
like
God.
of the northern
It
sky,
depends
it's
on what
clockwise.
the zodiac of the day is.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
You're gonna go right or left. No, really, it doesn't matter. I actually tend to put in the left.
When you landed that triple, what were they set at?
Left.
They were okay.
Yeah.
Oh, left.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's left. Oh, fudge,
Yours
I
was right.
Shit. Okay.
I
You're
just
right, Cam.
threw this together for today. I'm
You're
not fishing right now.
cut and retire from.
So that's
There you go.
my thing.
Cool.
I like that.
Yep.
I really
Match
really
the
like
hatch
that
on the
setup.
bait. Do you use tuna upriver in the fall?
I do.
Or do you use it in the fall?
Yep.
Upriver? Okay.
Yep.
Color.
Oh, color.
Oh,
Quick
I'll
hit on
tell you.
color.
Have you ever seen the? It's called Rotten Banana. It's basically all yellow. I think you actually might have a box full of them.
I thought there was some.
Oh, there's a big box
Clint
right here.
has them.
There you go.
Oh, here they are. There she is. Right there.
rotten banana, yellows,
Mhm.
reds, pinks.
Reds, pinks.
All the same.
I'll tell you,
all
it's
the
anything
colors
with
that
polka
you-
dots. They really pull
Polka
off
dots.
Kind of a thing. In the ocean, we were double trouble was like really ridiculously
To hell
good
with
the
your
other
stripes.
day.
To hell with your stripes, he says.
Hmm.
There you go. Well, I mean, obviously a million colors. We can get lost on the colors.
Oh yeah,
Oh, easily.
Yep.
absolutely.
Okay. Eric, go. What's your pick?
I'm going for this guy right there.
Oh,
yeah.
You knew it.
He's gonna spin her. So,
3.5
let's-
was
Yeah.
coming.
We got 3.5.
Yep.
The short bus spinner. Now, I'm just going to admit right now, this is a little bit of just a custom paint job, but you guys get the
Yeah.
idea.
Look at that.
It's a short
And then
bus
if you were
spinner.
hanging double trebles off of that, I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of
Yep. So we got. So let's talk about the spinner set. So we'll talk about an in-river spinner setup because
This
I brought
is an in-river
some
spin.
stuff for ocean.
Mhm.
But we can't use trebles in the ocean. So in-river, we've got a treble hook and a 2/0 single behind it. But you can use double trebles.
I use double
You can
trebles,
use
and
two
they
singles.
create quite a mess actually. But
That's kind of where I get with it. But I
the
like
net is
Yep.
mainly a real problem with double trebles.
double
Yes.
trebles. Pretty much every leader you use is going to be freaking toast after a minute or
Yeah.
after one
Yeah.
fish.
Yep.
Attach that for us real quick there.
But that color
But
combination.
I'll
right
tell
there,
you, double trebles on the hookup ratio, I'm very impressed.
Oh, fish nip too. Yeah, we forgot about the fish nip in the
Fish
super
nip
baits
works
and the spinning
really,
fish,
really
yeah.
good.
What clevis is that? Whose rig is that?
That's a worth clevis.
These are the harder ones to get in. The plastic ones actually are
Yeah,
the
but I hate the
simplest,
plastic.
but
I
they
hate-
also
I hate-
don't last as long.
I hate,
You know
yeah, I
that.
was gonna say I hate losing all my stuff.
I like the solid plastic ones.
Leave it to me to take
There you
forever
go.
to do
You
that.
can't change out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3.5 spinner. Whenever you're making your own spinners, these are made on monofilament. You can use wire, but always make sure that your spinner blade tip is
Now on-
clearing the top of the hooks.
On mono, if you're running just a standard non-changeable clevis, mono will actually wear out after a certain point of time, and
Yeah.
you will lose a fish
Yeah.
because it will it'll pin strip right where that spinner was
Yeah.
Always.
clevising on mono.
So where
So-
that's running, guys, just make sure you always lift that up and give that a little feel after fish or after some time of fishing. And that's also why we fish 40 and 50-pound tests even with these
Correct.
spinners.
They are not leader shy.
They're not
No.
leader shy, and if you use anything lighter, you are going to
Break leaders.
It will
What's
snap after
3.5 do I like best? I do like the short bus blades to a point where I use a ton of them, and when I like to make my own little ones, I actually use the short bus blades.
Mhm.
I am definitely a fan of them.
Looks good.
Treble. Let's talk about maybe
What Cam? Hold on. What's yours? I mean,
my
come on,
turn.
man.
My time right now. Well, I'm not going to talk about the Buoy 10. I'm just going to talk about what we've been running out in the ocean, what we're just smashing them on today.
Yep.
Spinner and a hoochie but two singles setup.
That's right.
A 1 finger space between the two. You can see the bottom of the other hook there. I've got a little extra flash, a little extra tinsel. Same thing. I got a little clevis on there. We'll just take this. Yeah, put it on there. So for right now, truth be told, the Brad super baits are crushing out in the ocean. Baits crushing out. Honestly, anything's crushing out in the ocean right now. It
You
doesn't
can go over. Well, I won't say, but
Are 4 hooks legal in the ocean? The answer is no.
No,
we are
never.
restricted to 2 single points. We're in the Columbia barbless single points, and in the Columbia we are actually allowed to do up to 3 treble hooks. Believe it or not. But that, like I said, as always with any regulations, be sure to check out your local restrictions and all that good stuff.
Hey, this
Put
is
like
my
a
first
strip
time
of bait
here.
on there.
Hold on.
There we go.
Here, you take the camera. Yeah, you go. Just pull it in. There you go. Bing. Yep. So once again, guys, I'm making sure that spinner blade is clearing any kind of hook so it can rotate freely. That little guy right there out in the ocean, game over. I definitely like to use more blues and pinks out there.
Are you?
I do too. I like blues and pinks.
Yeah.
That's a salt.
I don't have these are I don't didn't have all my saltwater vodkas actually in my boat.
blue tip
that
rainbow
little setup
in the
right
ocean
there,
is my
whew.
thing, and
So are you adding an anchovy behind that, or running it just like that?
Dude, honestly, I haven't had to.
Yeah.
Like
don't
it
think you
really
need to,
when
yeah.
you find the fish, they are ferocious.
You know what I used the other day? Coyote spoons on a pro troll.
Oh, that's cool.
It smashed them.
Yeah.
But they were biting anything, so it didn't matter.
The coho killers and coyotes and little
Seriously.
thin spoons. Yeah. Single hook setup. Also, you can do don't sleep on the hoochie. I got this on the treble setup here. Don't sleep on the hoochie in the river fishery as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I had that one included in there.
Yeah.
This is your blind channel.
Oh, pick the
setup
damn.
right
Did
here.
we pick the damn giveaway? Click, pick the giveaway, quick.
All right. Giveaway.
Go way up there.
Hit the randomizer.
Randomizer.
Random.
Bill's giving up gems. Says Jeff
Oh,
Cobalt.
Jeff.
Yes.
Yep. So congratulations, Jeff. You won that awesome prize pack. Just say what you won, which is the second prize pack. Say it had the Aluminum bait towel in it. Email orders at addicted.fishing. Send us your address and we'll send that out to you.
Nice.
I want a Bill Monroe Jr. hat for the win. Did you bring any Bill Monroe Jr.
I
hats?
didn't.
What the hell, dude?
I got tons too.
Well, shoot.
I'm not like set up like
Dude, you should give away the fishy when you were in here. I see the fish scales on it.
special.
Oh, that's a special.
That's a special hat. He's not giving away that. He's
I
not
got
gonna give away
I got a
that.
special hat, and then I got even more special one in the truck that's really salty, but that one
It's
really
like gray,
smells.
gray and faded.
Yeah, it is too.
Nice. Any questions on spinners, guys? Because I mean, really, we kind of laid it out here. Do you use different leader lengths for different bumper lengths on your 360s? Yes, the best. We did talk about that previously. You guys can go back and watch any of the information
Yeah, it's on there.
on the YouTube channel at Addicted Fishing. It will be on there.
Sent on any of those?
Sent not.
Wow.
I'm gonna say not.
Yeah, there you go.
Those are hard to
really
find right now. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
until you get upriver. Like up in the river,
Up
there's
in the river.
definitely some implications where I'll throw scent, like, from like the longer you up, those fish definitely get a little more wary. I think a little extra scent and certain scents definitely key in on them. Certain super gels from Pro Tier work good. But honestly, not in the buoy 10 fishery. Do you use scent in the buoy 10 fishery?
I don't. Maybe a little lemon joy, and that's about it. At the
Little
beginning of
lemon
the day,
joy.
just to get the gunk off. But that's
Out in the ocean, though, guys, if you have like extra cut plug baits, like the heads and stuff, if you just hang them on the hooks, like coho, will
A
eat
trailer
'em.
head. I mean that.
They love that little extra flash, pumping
You know how many-
scales and blood
How
off
many
it.
coho have you cut open and seen just cut plug herring heads?
So many. They
I've
eat
seen
it.
full.
They eat it. Oh my goodness! I forgot. I don't have a Brad's KCP up there. Ooh, that's a fail. But we'll talk about that.
Hey, those are pretty good too.
Yeah, those
yes.
little tiny ones are.
Those Brad
money.
Killer cut plugs are legit.
I did see one more. Oh, is there a water temp? Yeah, I see. Let's answer this one real quick. Is there a water temp where you use spinners more frequently?
Warmer the water, I run blades. So I would say anything.
Warmer the water, you run more spinners
You
versus
bet.
the plastic baits.
Absolutely.
All
Yep.
the plastic
You bet.
baits.
Yep.
I would agree with that. Seems like the warmer, the clearer, the warmer.
bet.
Definitely lean more towards simple spinners.
Hardware is what I'm
Yeah.
gonna go in general with warmer water.
I say
for me,
anything-
it's like 59, 60 degrees or better.
Yeah. I remember last year at Buoy 10, nosed into it at the can.
Oh,
The water temp dropped to like 58, and my spinners shut off.
Yep.
And everybody murked them around me.
There it is.
And I sat and I spectated. And
Because
I'm not gonna
you
get
can't make a change when
No.
you're in the middle of that show.
I didn't even
not,
have any bait with me. That's how confident I was in my spinner game.
Oof.
And I got my butt kicked.
That happens.
So guess what? I'm not going to let that happen to me this year.
Always
You
be
don't
ready
always
for
have
quick
like
snaps.
a can of tuna and some Brads in there?
Dude, I should.
Yeah, you
This
should
year-
that should always be.
I come double rigged. I got one set of rods on one side of the boat rigged up, and the other set of rods on the other.
Bust into those other lures you have up there.
Real fast, what's that wrap around the treble hook heat shrink? No, it's just spinner tubing.
Yeah.
You can buy it at almost every fishing store. A little cut of that. A little cut about that. And then is the setup on the top treble hook, is it a slider or fixed knot? Andy, it is a fixed knot in there. And actually, you can kind of see it on this one. Yeah. That's just
Actually,
a
on
fixed egg loop.
on my mooching setups, I tie a slip on mine, but
Oh.
I use 20-pound fly tie backing. It's different than braided line, and that my fly tie backing actually locks itself onto mono really well. So I'm a slip guy, and I've always thought that the slip improves my hookup.
Yeah, and so this guy is the bait setup. I just literally had a couple hooks here with about a 4-finger gap.
Yep.
I like to run fixed because I just don't like to deal with shit. But Bill likes,
you're being legit.
But truth be told, the slips do work fantastic. But I just have a fixed rig there.
That's a little bit of extra work, and so it's kind of tough.
My buddy runs divers on and bait on his boat. I want to run 360s on his boat. Can these work together, or is his diver trolling speed too fast for flashers?
I don't think it would be too fast. I think if anything, it would be too slow.
Right. I would cater your speed. I would cater your speed to the thump of the flasher. Because the diver, like, it's just down. It doesn't require a certain speed to work, right? It's going to dive.
Yeah.
And if you're going, like, slow or fast, that's kind of the beauty about divers, really.
Yeah.
It's like you can, that's why the charter boats like them, because they can just troll around at Mach 58, and they're still just going to dive and get to, like, that spot they're going to hang and not flare back like lead does. So I would, give it a shot. I would maybe run the divers on the sides and the 360s out the back, because they're going to drag more, where the faster you go, the 360 will drag and the divers might press down more.
Yep.
So, they appreciate the super chat too. Thanks. Hook size for herring, those are 3/0. Mike?
Yep. I like 4.5s. It all works. When you start
This for
looking at,
coho. This is for out in the ocean coho.
Yeah, see,
like if I'm gonna bait Chinook, I'm gonna probably step him up a couple there.
I'm a 4.5 guy.
I don't know if Ted Teufel's still watching, but last year down in Astoria, on these original skinnies, Teddy was running double 7/0 and just hanging coho.
Double 7/0.
Yes.
Like tied together or gap?
A little gap.
Like a 1 finger
but
gap.
Dude, I mean, they were like, I don't even use those for but he was like roping them. I don't know if Teddy's still watching.
I like it. Don't hook them, spear them.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the mentality there? That's sick, man.
That's a perfect segue to talk about those.
No, we're not going to talk about them now because Clint wants to. So let's talk about the original. So perfect segue, he says. Let's talk about original super baits, guys. Absolute killers, upriver, downriver. They've got all the action. Tuna holes. I call them tuna holes. Bait holes. Yeah. They work. These baits, just like kind of the spin fish, have a spot. You want to just pop them open.
Show you.
And this is the original.
There was one point in time where if you didn't have those on, you were not catching fish. Remember?
Upriver.
Before we progress to spinners upriver,
seriously, these were the cat's meow, and they still kind of are. A lot of us take out the foam insert here, and we just put a nice big stuffing of tuna in there, close it up, trim, and lock it up with your thing. Now, you got to put in your beads. I like to use 6mm beads. I use 8 of them. That's my thing.
Yeah.
And then so I got 8 beads right from here to here. See between my 2 fingers? I do 8 beads, and then you're going to come right down, and this is going to be your trail, or these two with a finger width of separation.
I'll show that right now.
Dude, I saw that.
Oh, you got a bobber stop.
He's got it right here.
I'm so glad, because I forgot about the bobber stop, but
yeah.
I was going to use this as an example. So what he's talking about, guys, where he's putting the 8 beads, he's keeping the hooks from laying against the side of this hard plastic bait. You want those hooks back behind the bait, twirling around.
And I used to always do that. Always.
Oh, and it works fantastic.
It adds extra flash. I mean, in the springtime, I always do it. Yeah.
That works.
I like the Brad's UV 8mm.
So this is...
But this right here, just real fast, guys, gives you an idea of that concept. So I don't have it set up on the original, but I've got this as a mini.
It's the same.
But I've got the amount of beads to keep it pushed back to where you can see, like, that hook is not going to hang on the back of that bait. It's going to be able to rotate through, and it's clearing that. Because if it wasn't, that bait could, that hook will lay up like, well, you guys can get the idea. Yeah. I'm trying to do it here. Where it'll lay up on the side, and then it's not going to be spin freely. So I want to make sure I've got the gapping correct behind that.
Yep. And on an original, you got a lot of gap here.
You got a lot of gap. You got to achieve the gap.
A lot of room. But
Yep.
This Swanson has it really kind of hooked up there. That bobber stop with a single bead, that prevents a lot of extra weight, which all those beads I'm adding, and help the smaller ones spin freely.
So you can see he's got a little bit of gap from that little pink thing right there at the bottom of that bead to the hook is a bobber stop. And if you can see,
you can adjust it too.
There we go. I adjusted it back.
Yeah.
Now that bobber stop is holding that Brad super bait up away from the hooks. And so you can see you get that level of adjustment. Now what's really nice about doing the bobber stop setup is if you want to tie leaders, right? So like let's say you like to pre-tie leaders and you don't know what super bait you're going to run, whether you run minis or KCPs, you can get in the habit with the bobber stops of just like tying just basically super bait leaders and having bobber stops on your line, and then you don't need to tie like a whole bunch for the originals, a whole bunch for the minis, a whole bunch for the KCPs, a whole bunch for the spin, whatever it is.
Right.
You have like adjustable leaders that work for all those hard plastic baits.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's it.
And you only can use the red rubber bands like that, right, Eric? Like that, or else you won't get it.
Oh, if it's green, they won't bite it.
Oh, these.
Shut up.
So you're saying
There,
these,
click, go back in your hole.
Yes.
So the hospital grade rubber band will not work.
No, I
It
think
never
I
has.
think
Has to be.
I think it's called Swanson out on a top secret thing right there.
And all that is spinner.
Oh my God.
And all
that's
this
just
is spinner tubing. And the reality, guys, is if you run out of your Brad super baits, and honestly, the bands tend to deteriorate too if they get salt water on them after a little while.
My fingers get all greasy putting tuna in them, I'm stretching them on there, pink, they fall in the water.
They fly off, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, no.
Do yourself a favor and save yourself frustration, and just go buy some surgical tubing from like Ace Hardware or something like that, and you can cut your own tubes, and you can cut 1,000,000 of them for like $2.
Keep a big small little Ziploc.
I like that other tubing idea.
But yeah, the spinner. This is just the same spinner tubing on the back of that bait as this little guy right there, and you can buy that at Bob's, Fisherman's, wherever.
Spinner tubing.
You get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's legit.
Okay, so now talk about the different sizes, or when you would use
Okay,
original
cool.
versus.
Yeah, so like it seems for me, like last year upriver, right? The common knowledge, not the common knowledge. I shouldn't say knowledge. Like the common consensus is that spinners in hotter, clear water. But up there at the deadline, when everybody and their freaking mother was running spinners, right? A couple of guys were slipping out some of the big originals and stroking them, like getting them. Yeah. And so I think having all these different size variations is a huge benefit to us because we can be different.
Yes.
We can.
I'll tell you, your deep water runs running in the middle of the channel, coming down.
You like
when you
that
guys were there.
Little more visibility on those bigger baits, you think?
That was it. Yep.
And I think certain days, for no particular reason, they like one over the other.
And you can obviously pack those brads with a bunch of scent.
Yeah.
So I think when you're trying to be different and everyone's running a spinner out there at the old deadline or Bonneville, wherever the hell you're running Buoy 10, it does, you got a million different color combinations, you got a million different size combinations. For coho out in the ocean, they will absolutely hang themselves on an original.
Crazy.
But I also like running the KCPs and the real tiny stuff out there because I think they just.
I was just going to say that. I lose less fish on a KCP or a 3-inch because I feel like they obviously choke it down a little bit better being a smaller bait.
If I'm fishing upriver and I'm seeing fish all over the finder and seeing them streaking, following, not biting, just being what salmon can be. Jerks.
Finicky.
I had different names for them.
I call coho
We're a
jerks.
family show.
Yeah. Coho.
We're a family show.
Coho.
I want to make sure that I have
a selection?
super baits ready to go. And at least a can of tuna.
Yeah. After what I saw last year,
I have a seat box dedicated to.
Yeah.
Do you have all 3 sizes up there so you can show the difference?
No, we don't.
You have them in your box?
Wait, what did you ask? I'm sorry.
3 different sizes.
There's some.
Of what?
Show like an original.
I don't have a KCP. Do you have a KCP?
There might be one in here.
No, there's not.
There's not.
There won't be one in there. Those are all minis.
Yeah, those are all minis.
So no,
Well,
unfortunately, I failed, and I don't. But go ahead and go to the side cam here. So we've got the Brad's original on top. That is the Brad's kokanee or the Brad's cut plug, followed by the mini cut plug, and then there's one that's like that big.
There's a kokanee.
Yeah.
And it's a kokanee size cut plug.
And those actually work.
They work fantastic when they're tiny, and they work great. I wish I would have not failed you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn right. And that pink magic color right there is a killer too.
Yeah, Pink
Seriously.
Magic out in the ocean is pretty freaking. It doesn't suck. Let's just say that.
No, it does not suck.
Super chat. When is the earliest you should head upriver away from Buoy 10? The answer is August 1st. Actually, the answer is yesterday.
Actually.
Guys are
Because it's open.
right now.
They are getting fish. We have got a massive summer Chinook run.
The summer
It's going to transition. There's already guys that I know for
Still
a fact
going.
have landed fall fish.
Yes.
There are fish in the system now. Like I've told my clients, and like you probably tell yours, like when we weren't talking about a thermal block this year, we were already thinking like, shoot, middle August, it might be worth actually fishing upriver because the river, we have the ocean, right? And then everything condenses into buoy 10. You get that hot water block, so it condenses them. But upriver too, it even condenses them even more. Yes. So if the fish are running and they're really moving through, it all depends on the year.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the second week, sometimes it's the fourth week of August. We don't really know. So I tell my clients, like after about the 10th, be super flexible, but there will be fish in the river on August 1.
Yeah.
Oh!
Attaboy, Clint.
Look at producer.
I saw him.
Look at producer.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering what he was talking
my
about.
God.
On the front of the table. Wow.
We couldn't see it. Okay, here we go. Let's do it.
Oh, look,
Producer Clint's actually producing. I love, who is this guy? What did you do with Clint?
Clint's got
What did you do with Clint? Kokanee cut plug right here in the dusky color. The mini, the original cut plug, and the original super bait.
That dusky color is one of my buddy's most favorite. It's his everything, and it works.
It works. It catches them.
I think that's Scott Call's favorite color, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What does Scott know? He doesn't know anything about fish.
Yeah. He never fished.
I don't think he did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, good call.
If you pick your favorite, if you want to pick one size for buoy 10 of the Brad.
Okay.
Go.
Mini. If I had to fish one, it'd be a mini. That's my take.
I'll say original.
I'll say original.
Yeah. I like the bigger profile.
I do too.
I like the way they spin. Too.
Tight spin.
Yeah.
Super tight. The boomer. I call it the boomerang, and I've always hung them, and I'll just keep on.
See, I like
Same color.
Double trouble.
Ooh,
Double
hot tamale.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hot tamale, hotter.
Cameron's digging
The
in the.
hotter is the chrome one.
Yes.
Belly.
It has the chrome in the.
So I'm a fan of the mini, but I also use the minis a ton out in the ocean. So like these are all minis in here. But you said hot. I don't even have a hot tamale.
You don't.
That was a pink magic.
You got a hot tamale?
Oh, there we go, hot tamale.
Oh, dude.
Here we go.
And the
Yes.
hotter is chrome belly.
Hotter has chrome instead of glow.
Yep. But here's a pink magic that was a pink magic.
You need
As
to
you
clean
can see,
that
it's
box.
been Shoot off. Yeah.
Dude, you know that smell right when you open it.
Yeah, no kidding. I just realized there's probably one bait in there that's got freaking tuna in it. Now I gotta scrub
Right
it all
before you
again.
went to what, Puerto Rico, and you left it
Yeah,
again?
that was worse. Trust me, you go in the middle to open that cooler in here.
Oh, I know. That was such a bad move. I feeling embarrassing.
I gotta try to find it now.
I'll never do it ever again. Like
So
I literally
bad.
threw away a
Color.
Yeti 25.
No, I'm looking for what's making this box kind of smell a little funky. Hold on.
Is it when you open the
That's
lid?
probably it there.
Oh, she's got some corner
It's just-
fuzz.
Definitely clean your super baits out.
It's got corner fuzz.
Clean
everybody.
your super bait out. See that right there?
Right
like
there?
you don't want to leave that. That was
This
me getting
is
a little lazy.
brought to you by underneath the Delta Park.
Too bad you
area.
guys didn't have smell-o-vision right now because they do not
it's a
smell
little
good.
funky. But that's definitely the culprit. Here's a little custom painted,
Oh, that's
little
cool.
pink, blue ice.
I like that.
That one's clean. I think I found my culprit.
You don't have any Mountain Dews in there?
I probably did, but see, look at the bands. Even the spinner bands like toast out.
Mhm.
Oh, they really do. When they get hot,
Clean.
goodness, when they get hot, they really fall apart.
Sorry, I'm like I should.
Camera, I think
I should
people
realize
are
I'm
sick
holding the
now with
camera.
the
Yeah, I
camera.
should realize I'm. Yeah. Everything's double rig, 2 hook setups. You guys can see there. But this is like I said, I use an absolute freaking metric ton of these out in the ocean. I'd have to say this color though, right here for me out in the ocean is that this blue sardine or whatever. This guy is just absolute, which is why it's all there's a bunch in here, but a few of them are off leaders because they've been chewed.
The foil
up.
color kind of gives off.
What's that other one? Is it the blue Hawaiian or right? Is that the blue Hawaiian?
That's
no,
it.
that right by the gold. Back up.
That's Seahawk.
Right there.
Right
Yes,
Oh,
that is.
Yeah, that is blue Hawaiian.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blue with that yellow in it. They like
Mhm.
that.
The herringbone in it.
Yeah. Anyways, you see, it's been a busy year. I've been tearing these things up with it. So okay,
Yeah.
offside cam. 'Cause I'm probably making people dizzy.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm getting them cleaned out, even in the spin fish. But a piece of spinner wire works good for cleaning. That's a good
That's
idea,
true,
David. I
David,
probably
good
should have. I
point.
probably should have done that because this guy. I'm gonna give away this actual.
Yeah.
Don't leave that in the studio.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that was probably it.
that has a little.
There's definitely a funk.
It has a
Definitely
smell to it.
Has a twang.
That
to
was
it,
a
huh?
fail.
Yeah, what do you think?
What are some other options to stuff them with?
I think the options are endless.
Well, there's sardine, there's tuna, there's anchovy, there's herring. There's
I've heard of people using bacon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But a lot of the time, like in the spring, I'll do like a coon shrimp.
That one maybe
You know,
a little.
coon shrimps work real good.
Now you're all in your brain.
No, that was like I was a little
You're
surprising.
gonna go home and
Like,
soak
woo!
all these in Clorox cleanup, aren't you?
Not Clorox, but yeah, I'm gonna soak them. That's for sure.
Mhm.
I'll just take the whole thing.
Put them all in the dishwasher.
Actually, no. The reality is, I'm gonna fish them for one more week out in the ocean and then just redo them
They're
all
gonna be just fine.
because they're gonna get freaking wrecked
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow. Actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tuna belly? Did you guys talk about
Oh, tuna belly. Yeah. What else?
Tuna
is there?
belly works really good.
Yeah.
I mean, we wrap quick fish in them. We might as well throw them inside of these baits too. That
Baking soda and vinegar to try to clean them up. I bet the vinegar
That
does a pretty
keeps your
good
paint.
job. Doesn't say it doesn't rip the paint.
bleach will rip your paint.
Oh yeah, that's what I know. No Clorox.
No Clorox.
Cameron said about taking. Yeah, Tyler, possibly message the page. It all just depends on schedules and what's going on. Let us know what you got going on.
That's cool.
Yep. Greetings from Baker Lake. Hopefully you're getting a bunch of good.
Yeah.
Sockeye fishing.
Yeah. What an epic fishery that's been
What
for
a
those guys.
what a gem
What
this
an-
year has been.
Airball by the state.
I would have liked to have killed every one of those before
Oh.
they got up to those guys.
I wasn't even
I-
targeting the damn things, and they were like climbing on.
Dude,
for
I was
weeks.
catching them on K14s.
Yeah, they're yeah.
They
Like-
like plugs.
like
They like anything down here.
Several a day. Like I couldn't believe it.
Airball,
I
but
don't know.
it's
You're-
like predicting the weather. We get it. We get it.
Your spin and glow and coon shrimp.
If
I
only
mean,
they could. If only they could use like. And this is one bitch, and this is what we'll talk about a little bit. If only they could just. They use. It's like gas prices, right? Any excuse.
Yes.
The gas price goes up, but to
Yes.
get them to come down, it takes like an act of Congress.
Yes.
Same thing with fishing regulations. They can joint state action a closure with less than 24 hours,
Yes.
but opening seems to take like 6 to 8 days.
Yeah. Next
Really?
Thursday. You
Yeah,
it's
next
like-
Thursday.
really
And it's
true.
When we
Wednesday.
already have a meeting scheduled.
Yeah.
But I mean, a week. I mean, they said that they could have opened that sockeye fishery so much sooner, but they had a compact already scheduled, so they pushed it to that
Yeah.
day. They missed hundreds, if not thousands, of angler days that could have
Yes.
occurred. That
The opportunity
the week
loss
before.
was pretty.
there was a
significant.
huge opportunity loss.
As soon as it went from 20, 30, 40, and then went 50, 50.
Everyone's like-
I was just like, come on.
Yeah.
As we're letting them go every day targeting summer shrimp.
Really difficult. I get it. You know, Oregon and Washington have, I'm going to say it. We've been, my politics are really strong because I go through a lot of stuff. That's all. Well, actually, we'll talk about that with NSIA. We don't
Oh, yeah,
exactly
yeah.
have some of the best reputation, but there's reasons for this. It's really difficult. And fishery politics are significantly, they're hard to deal with.
it's politics.
Oregon and Washington don't exactly see eye to eye, and you've got two different commissions
I've been beating
that
down
want to
that
do
door for
different
years.
things, and we've got to understand that these guys have hard jobs, difficult. I don't want their job, and I can only imagine how difficult it is to manage one river, let alone a river with mixed stock. Okay, I get it, but they've screwed up a lot. And right now you've got non-concurrence with Oregon and Washington, and we're losing about 15% of quota because Washington is not willing to come in and get in line with Oregon. I have no problem saying that because non-concurrence is a real issue.
What the non-concurrence is at commercial and sport allocation rates.
It's not just allocation, but yeah, it is. It has to do it. It's mainly, and we don't have a problem with like commercial against sport. That's not what this is.
Yeah.
We have a problem with the states trying to be swung to sway one way or the other.
Right.
That's
Influenced.
the problem.
Right.
If
We
if the state, either one knows that a run is coming in stronger than it is, and like Evan's saying, you could use 50 years to create an algorithm that you know that concurrent methods. Obviously, there'd
You
be
already
some
know.
adjustment with that because of 360 fishing and you have effort shifts and stuff. But yes, there's got to be something. And obviously, what we're seeing on the coast up and down this year, we're already seeing it.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that if they can use joint state action overnight to close a run, they should be able to use joint state
open it
action, open it up.
Yes.
Instead of
And
waiting
stop.
for a 6-day lag period
6
and
days?
waiting for
That'd be pretty
a
good.
compact meeting.
Yeah, we need to.
That was really difficult.
Yeah,
Those fish were already
I think if
up
that
and over.
occurs again, like there's
They
going to be
need to.
emails
Yes.
put out on blast to get things happening, because that was hundreds, if not thousands of angler days on a run that obviously is incredibly hatchery supplemented and could have resulted, and this is what's happened last year on the fall Chinook. I think there was something like 30,000 extra fall Chinook that could have been harvested last year that we let just
They were on the table and
before the first person comments, well, we should let those fish go, because the more they get to the spawning ground, the more fish we'll have later. That actually is incorrect, and it doesn't work that way. And I'm not going to get into that, other than when we had 1.6 million kings 3 years later, we had a complete, not collapse, but we had a huge downturn of the run. We had more surplus kings than freaking ever since they built Bonneville Dam. But the ocean conditions and the blob and stuff had other things to say. Probably a good thing we had some of those extra fish, but the hatcheries only produce so much. Anyways, moving on.
Well, before we actually call this quits, NSA tournament.
Oh yeah. So
can I throw it out?
Talk it out. Talk about it.
Guys.
What else is going on at Buoy 10? There's a women's tournament.
There's a girls tournament.
The Coast Guard
tournament, August 13th. That's the ladies lipstick tournament. That's going to be epic.
Fun.
It's really cool to
get
women involved in fisheries. I enjoy watching all of them do stuff and learn and do this for themselves. It's actually
just
really
like
have a good time.
The charisma is everybody's pumped. That's what's cool about it.
Cool.
Everybody has a good attitude.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we also have the NSIA Buoy 10 Challenge. That's going to be at the fairgrounds.
August 19th.
August 19th. That's right. It's $110.
All you badass Buoy 10 fishermen better put in for that.
It's kind of a big deal. Yeah. So get your teams, get signed up. We'd love to see you. That's awesome.
Talk is cheap. All you badass Buoy 10 bangers out there.
Yeah.
Did you win that 1 year, Cam?
Yes.
He sure did.
Trophy, right?
Yeah, something like that.
It's over your fireplace.
Yeah, someone in your
I didn't get to do it last year. COVID got us.
COVID hit. That was an actual thing. Yeah, COVID got us.
Oh yeah.
I am so
good
over
stuff.
COVID.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
Thank goodness.
any suggestions on avoiding? We'll end it after this. We're gonna have one more prize pack giveaway from Marlon here. Thank you guys tuning in. Real fast, show us by viewers. You guys liked and shared this out. Still almost 500 of you guys. Pretty awesome. Let's talk a little bit about this.
Yes.
We're going to talk Thule's next week. We'll have the Thule discussion, pictures, all that good stuff. It'll be great because it'll be the Wednesday right before Buoy 10 opens, and you guys are all going to be charging down there.
Yes.
That's cool.
Any suggestions on avoiding getting robbed by sea lions at
You
Buoy
bet.
10? Let's hear your thoughts.
I would say keep everybody minus shooting them. I think the best way is don't wave your net around prematurely. Don't have everybody standing up. I would say the person netting the fish and fighting the fish are the only guys to stand up.
Yep.
Don't attract more attention.
No hooting and hollering, because let me tell you what, when they're hunting out there, and you can tell when they're hunting because they're porpoising, they're
up looking like this.
Yep. Let me tell you what, when they see six guys standing up in a boat and a net waving around,
they're going right to that boat.
Oh, Mach 1, they're heading to that boat.
Every time. You know,
What about you?
they allow rubber shotgun shot is allowed now only if you have a fish on. It works. I've seen him get blasted by one of those, by the one and only Mr. Higgins at the fence. That fence in Buoy 10 is only go to the fence if you truly can handle it. By the way, it's fun.
I'm not sending someone to the fence. Someone's going to die.
Those rubber shotgun shells are legit. You are allowed to do that only if you have a fish on. Something to think about. You cannot avoid them if you're fishing somewhere like down there. It's going to happen.
I generally tell people, if you cannot fish around them, it is when they are, especially in the afternoons. And so I do a lot of afternoon trips.
Yeah.
And then we do a lot of live feeds in the afternoon. You guys have seen them. It seems like if you're the only show in town and they're hunting you, there's not a lot of boats and a lot of distraction. You're going to be an easier target, and generally picking up and just moving away. There's no sense putting a ton of effort in an area just to hook a fish and lose it. And I also am absolutely convinced that if you're within the vicinity of them and you hook a fish, they can hear that fish struggling under the water. There's something else besides, because back in the Springer days when it was really bad, we used to sit down, not take the motor out of gear. Guy would pick up not even take the rod out of the rod holder, but I think they hear the line cutting. There's something else to it that when they're in close, obviously do not stand, hoop and holler and wave the flag of salmon on over here, boys, come and get it, dinner bell. be reasonable, but like also I just try to stay away from them. Like, I mean, you try. You do what you can.
That was legit.
You know what? Good stuff. But
who remembers that live feed where Jordan's bleeding and holding the fish over the side of the boat?
Did he get his hand bit?
That was stupid.
Oh,
and
no,
the reason why, we were
the fish.
He was
right
bleeding
next
the
to his
fish
hand.
over the side of the boat.
right after I told him not to. But the problem was it was right kind of by the marina. So one of the marinas we clean our fish in, we're not allowed to dump guts in the marina. So we run them out. So that anything within a half mile of that harbor seal, they know to just sit under the boats and watch.
Yes.
Because the harbor seals, they don't generally take your fish. They will off your line, but I think they look for released fish.
Yep.
And I think they're looking for stuff that you throw in the water. And so once he took that fish, and instead of putting it in the perfectly good bleed bucket, he dipped it in the water and held it, and it touched that water, and that little bastard grabbed it, just boom, right off the boat live with like 1,200 you watching.
Oh my god.
He was like, oh my gosh, and it was like a big splash, and he comes up, there's teeth marks in the, like inches from his hand.
Oh my god.
It was like,
he wasn't even looking. He was like talking, like looking.
Oh yeah.
He didn't realize that someone started pulling on it.
Yeah, he got lucky is exactly it. So
Dude,
you gotta be smart
crazy.
about it. You gotta be smart about it. It was
awesome.
pretty hilarious. We should have Jen go back and find it and make a snippet.
Yeah, we just went and pulled your big fish that we caught.
Oh, sick! Yeah, I've been seeing her doing those. Those are bad ass.
Just check
Yeah.
this away.
So
you can't do it in Buoy 10, but I've seen guys will do tight circles if they're trying, if one's chasing it or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
But
yeah.
can't really
You
do
can
that
win
now.
harbor seal battles.
Yeah.
They're very easily doable.
My worst incident ever of getting fish taken away was like 3 days in a row in 2019 in Blind Channel by a damn harbor seal. And I'm telling you what, after day 2 of this, I was freaking paying attention.
well, he knew to follow that bright green boat, buddy.
Well, what happened is, but he was that harbor seal was literally under the water swimming, and we would hook a fish. Nowhere around, he would be already on the fish. But he was sitting. He was sensing it somehow.
He was sitting out of
and
the
he
boat,
was-
letting you bring him right to him.
I could not
The only
believe
way
it.
you can beat him sometimes, you just
But
gotta get away
I
from him.
had to leave. I went down to church.
Or just shoot him. That works too.
Yeah, 12 gauge to the face works pretty good.
Yeah, 12 to the face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Clean
dude.
the blood
It's
off the
legit.
side of your boat. No, we're
Real.
not advocating that at all.
No. Rubber.
Real
Yeah, you
buckshot.
don't think if you
Come
shot
on.
him with like a rubber bullet, he would bail and not come back?
Oh, yeah.
I had a client after
Stings them bad.
I had a client. Paintball guns are legal. I had a client literally after watching another guide in another boat during the spring spray a couple with paintball guns. He bought a paintball gun, set a bag of paint, CO2 cans, brought it to my house. He's been a client of mine for like 16 years. Brought it to my house. He goes, when I'm in the boat, Buoy 10, he's like, this is in the boat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, no problem, buddy. So we're gonna paintball gun him.
Oh, my paint.
Yes.
Dude, Buoy 10.
Paintballs, dude.
Could you imagine?
I'm gonna have the paintball gun out there.
Buoy
It's gonna
10 is the
badass.
hardest thing on paintball guns. Mine rusted within 2 years. It was sad.
Yeah.
So if you have like a
hard, too,
sawed
like,
off
you can't
8
just-
You know what you should do? You
No.
know what? That's a good
Yeah.
point, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it apart and take corrosion X
Yeah.
and just
Load it.
spray it, rub it all
Load
down,
it.
and just see how long it'll last. Now it's a good call.
You know, Evan was just saying, if I'm gonna have my dog on my boat, you don't do your dog on your boat, do you?
I'm not a fan of dog scent and dog hair all over my stuff.
I love it.
But dude, a lot of people catch the heck out of the fish. But I
Yeah.
don't want my clients like getting the oils off my dog's fur and then touching my flashers and stuff. Like I'm pretty picky about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But apparently it doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
No.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
What about Ronnie and Roscoe?
Oh my gosh.
I'm raising my dog to be a
Oh,
fish
Ron
dog.
catches a
Good
few,
stuff.
so
Yes.
fudge, yeah.
I know. Like more than.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh, potato gun would be pretty
It
fun.
is, dude. I did.
It is too, dude. It is all about how you feel about how you're doing.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, I think what he said when people were doing hazing with paintball guns, I think they're smart. I think you'll get the naive ones that haven't seen a paintball gun and will react to it. But there's a few sea lions on the afternoon trips and Blind Channel that are absolutely trained.
Oh,
and they know. And then once they get in there, oh,
They
yeah, for
know,
sure,
they know,
it's
they
on
know,
now.
they
It's
know.
on. It's on. It's
Yeah.
on.
Bringing a
It's
12
on.
gauge with rubber bullets.
Yeah.
You can do that.
But like you can always
do
tell
both.
like the most experienced sea lions is
It's legal.
they just burn. They'll just
They
burn.
grab the fish, they bring it up, and they rip it to shreds within
Oh,
10
yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
And they'll, but some of the other sea lions grab them and run them out. And if you can fall, like when you get in a fight with a sea lion, the key is, now if you're around a bunch of boats and it's
Yeah.
going to sweep boats,
Yeah.
you're generally
Don't
you
do
break
it.
it off, you're done. But if
Yeah.
you can give it a little chase, a lot of times if you just get on top of them, especially the harbor seals,
Yeah.
to where like you just use the line to figure out where he's going, and you kind of run and keep the boat on top of him.
Yeah.
They'll let him go. I get definitely more of them back than I used to trying to fight him, because you're not going to win that fight. Even with 50 pound, they ain't going to win.
No, heck no.
They're smart.
Yeah. Show that prize pack.
The paintball guns earlier. Prize pack. Awesome prize pack. We've got an addicted, the big boy tumbler.
Nice.
20 ounce? No, 30 ounce. 30 ounce tumbler. Line keepers made by Low Clint. So the name, it's going to be all off and all that good stuff. But
it might stink a little bit because it came from Clint.
It might stink a little bit because it came from Clint. It might smell like that mini box.
It's pre-used.
Might smell like the mini box. Oops, sorry. Oh, damn it. Oh my gosh, what am I calling? There we go. Got the addicted on there. Oh, you can't see it because of the glare. Boom. We've got 2 packs of line keepers and a fillet away fish bat. Pretty awesome. Prize pack. Man, Marlon's dishing. I told you guys, hook it up today because basically I didn't think about prize picks before we started the last 2 live feeds. Yeah.
This one's good.
We're hooking you guys up.
Nice work.
Couple things. Last second announcements. For the drop, you guys, we got this blast prize giveaway. Clint, start kind of ramping that up real fast. Still not on the drop, but on the website, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 giveaway at the end of the month. I don't know what you're calling it other than the 10 prize. The summer giveaway. There we go. It's so much better marketing. Summer giveaway. There you go. We got some really cool stuff on there. We got a 110 quart gone cooler. Great prize packs worth hundreds of dollars. So for every dollar that you guys spend in the month of July on Addicted.Fishing, get you an entry into there. Also, Blair Johnson and I are going to be doing a fall Chinook salmon trolling seminar at the Kelso Sportsman's on Tuesday night. This upcoming Tuesday, we're going to do that. We're going to try to start some seminars off again. This is not an addicted event, but we're going to be there talking about fall Chinook trolling. If you guys want to get hands on some of this stuff, check that out as well.
But the bashes are coming.
But the bashes are coming. We're warming them up, guys.
Finally.
We're getting there, and I mean, yeah, bashes are coming back. I think retailers and everyone's getting more comfortable doing seminars and stuff, which we are so excited about it, guys. And when we do it, it's going to be
It'll be a
freaking
banger.
huge. But come hang out Tuesday night, Kelso Sportsman's Warehouse. NSIA Derby, August 19th. You guys can sign up on NSIA.
That'd be awesome. Get you there. See you catch fish.
Put your money where your mouth is, all you big boys out there.
Oh,
Put
yeah.
your money where your mouth is. And what Clint was just showing was the Addicted Summer giveaway. Check that out. Lots of still really cool products on there. Even a few last things from the drop. Clint, give us a winner so we can get the hell out of here and get out to the ocean well.
Yep.
You going?
I am.
Sweet! Gonna go try to kill all them Chinook to shut her down a little earlier for all you guys.
No.
TJ McNamara. Oh, Kayak TJ won. Congratulations. Wrist rocket works too, and he is correct. I got really good one year at dinging them. I was like a sniper with that little thing, but
It's hard to aim.
Short range. Oh no, I had it down. I was like instinct back there, like shooting off.
Did you
the
practice
hip.
some pop cans in the yard before you went down
Oh
there?
hell yeah, I did. Hell yeah, I did. TJ, you won the prize back. You know probably what to do. Your loyal listener tunes in every week. Appreciate your comments and your insight. Always on the live feed, TJ. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Email orders at addicted.fishing. You won the last prize pack with the Addicted Tumbler. Bill, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Eric, thanks for coming in. I don't know who
That was really cool.
I don't know who I'm going to drag in here next week for the 𝗃𝗟𝗟 talk, but we're going to talk a lot about that.
Let's get
that
I'm calling
would be
Stricker.
so
We're getting Stricker.
Buddy,
gonna be great.
he's too busy hanging out at the beach catching all them
He
fish.
is,
but,
dude. Building things.
I don't know who will get in here, but we'll have a really great discussion. And then, of course, we'll be one more week closer. I think there'll be some fish caught above the bridge this week. Things will be getting a little... Tune in next week. We'll talk a little bit of strategy going in for that August 1st opener. And, of course, salmon tactics that you can use even if you're a Great Lakes guy and whatever you guys got going on.
Cool.
Any last...
Yes, indeed.
Did I kill it? Did I kill it?
You killed it.
Openings, you got 8th and 9th.
8th and 9th.
September?
September all the way through. Yeah, we're staying here. And then the coho fishery all the way till Halloween.
Yep.
Yeah.
August 8th and 9th. And I appreciate a lot of you guys as we were kind of winding down the tech talk. A lot of you guys saying great job and appreciate the live feed. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as always.
Yep.
Clint killing it with all these angles.
Clint actually producing a little bit. A little bit tonight. Go, Clint.
And he's engaging.
Oh, there it is.
He's really
Look at him
he's-
engaged.
He's really engaged now.
How engaged he was.
Awesome, guys. Thank you much for tuning in. 𝗃𝗟𝗟 talk next week.